one that says upcoming. It says waiting for us.
I just tried a new one.
Yeah.
It says it's working. Okay.
Let's see if it's working. Well, it says we're live now.
Oh, yeah, I just got the alert.
Yep, there it goes.
All
All right, let's try that again.
Let me redo everything because I deleted everything. So it's going to have a different link this time.
Okay, sorry, some technical difficulties.
Hold, please.
What's up, scumbag? How we doing?
Yo, that reel that Rybo put out?
That was great. All right, you want to try that again, Dan?
What? Yeah, I'm putting links up now. Hold on.
Check, check, 1, 2. While we figure out the problems, go buy some merch.
Am I the problem?
It's me. Hi. Okay.
Off to a swimming start.
Well, it's not frozen this time, so hopefully it stays that way. Norm, how you doing?
7
Out of 10?
out of 100, bud.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Holding
Probably
on.
more accurate.
What's up, Jared? Fighting a little technical difficulty, so if we lose you on stream, we apologize.
I feel like it's all new people. They're like, oh, you guys are live.
Yeah.
I know we were.
I'll check this out.
Come check this. Boom, boom, boom,
It's
boom,
just
boom,
Johnny Benson and the guy I got into a fight with on Twitter today. Those are the only people.
I hope
in
he
chat.
listens. That'd be great.
boom. Okay.
All right, we're good. Links
Ready
are
to
out.
rock? Let's
Links
try
are
this
out.
again. All right, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the Loose is Fast podcast, your podcast home for all things NASCAR and some things not. I'm Kyle Belcher and joined, as always, by Mr. Daniel Walker
Hello.
and Norman Pelletier.
Rodney, I'm in the campground.
On today's episode, we'll talk some NASCAR news, recap the weekend at Kansas, answer some questions, have some fun along the way. But before we get into that and everything that is this spectacular show that we call Loose Fast Podcast, Dan, tell the people how we put on such a wonderful production.
We're going to need you guys this week because the computer's dying. We are brought to you this week and every other week by the Revival Motoring Network and revivalmotoring.com/B for B. Norman, lighten the people on what that is.
Bucks for the boys.
We don't have a air horn on lock, do we?
Woo!
Close enough.
Close
Sure.
enough.
Close enough. Bucks for the boys. That is our way of keeping the lights on in this place,
Yeah.
keeping the computer however many times we have to restart it. So the live stream works. That is our way to bring this wonderful production to you. It is a monthly donation, recurring donation kind of thing. 2, 5, 10, or $20, or any denomination of any mixture of those denominations that you would like. That helps Josh plan stuff out for the studio, pay the rent, keep the toilet paper stocked, keep trash bags in the trash cans, all that good logistical stuff. If you want to make a one-time donation, you can use PayPal, info@revivalmotoring.com. On either one of those options, make sure you leave a note that said we sent you, because it's fun when they have to acknowledge us. They rarely do. What other things can we do? Oh, PayPal is also the home of Kyle's Race Day Challenge.
Yes.
Kyle, what's that? Oh, God, we have to acknowledge it, don't we?
We do.
We could just skip this part.
Yeah. No. So Race Day Challenge is if you donate the dollar amount that matches the driver's number you believe will win on Sunday and guess correctly, we'll send you a little something. And we finally have a winner.
No, we don't.
Mr. Joe Spinelli finally gets his Ross Chastain checker flag.
Can we mail him Jell-O shots?
Yeah, can. Other ways you can help, you can head over to the merch store.
Yes. Merch do be popping.
loosesfast.myshopify.com. Get yourself a hat, a different hat, a sweatshirt.
Check out the live stream that we're doing right now. Even if you're listening to this, go back on YouTube and look at it.
Yeah, tune in.
Yeah.
We have some of the hat offerings on the table right now, and they are phenomenal, actually. Very nicely embroidered.
Yeah. So I got a bunch of stuff this week from the website. I'm really happy with everything I've received so far. I think the hats kind of outdid our expectations a little bit.
I did not think they'd be that nice.
I personally really like the T-shirts that I got, the quality of the shirts. I know we were having trouble with Kyle's original circle design. That was kind of the first test piece. Kyle has since changed that to a different T-shirt, so hopefully we'll hear soon if that brand, style, whatever of T-shirt is more to our liking. But so far, the ones I've gotten, I've liked a lot. The hats, I think, have, like I said, outdone themselves. I just got a notification that some of my other stuff I ordered just showed up today, so I'm excited about that. And more stuff will be added. I think it was Psycho Bob wanted more of like a dad hat style. So I'm going to add that to the website soon. Probably decide what design to do for that. I don't know if I'm going to do one of the same or change it up a little bit for that hat.
Yep.
But, I mean,
you got options.
Like we said before, guys, let us know what you want.
Absolutely. If there's something,
And if it's something that we think more than one person will want, we'll do it.
yeah, I agree. I think we have the ability to make all sorts of weird crap.
Yeah. I haven't been keeping an eye on the numbers. I'm sure Kyle has a little better idea of it, but I know, like, at first flags were a big thing, so that's why as soon as I got access to it, I immediately put up flags because I knew that'd be a popular one. Koozies. I know Kyle had koozies. That was a highly requested item.
Yep.
So, yeah, just let us know what kind of stuff you guys want. We can see if we can make it happen.
Yeah. So definitely go check out the shop. Other ways you can help us. Well, there's one more way you can help us monetarily. How's that, Kyle?
You can tell.
So if we announced it a couple episodes ago, I know Brad hasn't fully announced it yet, but we will be on the car at the Roval, which we will be in attendance for.
Yep.
So if you would like to help us out, you are obviously, like everything else here, by no means obligated, but we would really appreciate it if you guys could help us out with that, because we've done that with all of our other sponsors. You guys pitched in a little bit, kind of lighten the load on our end, because Kyle paid for it.
Per usual, yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't want to send us just money, like if you don't think you're getting a return from that as much as you would hope, buy merch. All the proceeds from the merch.
Yeah, that's going to help us.
Pretty much what doesn't cover the cost of the merch will be added to the fund for the sponsorship deal. That is.
Yep. So that'll help us
That's
out,
why
too.
we're doing it, so we can afford to do this kind of stuff. Hopefully, we can pocket some of this money on the merch over the next year, and it could afford us to do more fun stuff.
Yep.
Exactly.
That is the plan.
Yes.
Other ways you can help us not involving money, you can leave us reviews. We don't have any new ones on Apple.
Boo.
Leave written reviews on Apple. We read them and love them and laugh at them and cry at them. You can also leave 5 stars on Spotify. Nothing new there. Still,
You can also comment on episodes, which we haven't had yet, but do it.
I don't even know if I can. Can we see that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
okay.
you can just click on an episode and it'll say no comments or read comments.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
so do that.
And comment on the wonderful image that Norm makes.
Yep.
Because that does the algorithm thing and makes more people see it.
All those things.
Heck,
Yeah.
we got verification that it got us a listener a couple weeks ago. So
Yes, it did. Yep. Get in a fight with Norm on Twitter.
I was really proud of my screw that guy. Unless you're listening, what's up, bro? I was really proud of my Bristol one with Larson.
That was a good one. I
found the
one.
picture of him biting the sword, and I was like, "This is it. This is the entire image."
I saw a bunch of people using that one, but it was still.
Yeah.
It's such a good picture.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
There's that.
Yes, so all those ways and many more. So we appreciate anything that you can contribute or just share around. We
I
thank you.
do have one request for Kyle's Race Day Challenge.
What's that?
Can you send the average Joe all Hendrick stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever you have, it has to be Hendrick.
I can help with
That's
that.
all he gets.
I can do that. Yeah. Perfect. All right. We'll get into our callbacks as we always do. Just calling back briefly to the TV ratings for Bristol. Looking at a 1.9, just shy of million viewers for the Bass Pro Shops night race, up 20% in viewership from last year. So we'll take it.
That's close to our last YouTube video as well.
Yes, very
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll get there someday. They'll be on.
There's
our
a
level.
1 in there. So
Yep. Yep.
I think ours is just 1.0, not 1.9 million.
The one is
ours
just
is-
us monitoring
No,
the chat.
ours is 0.1.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. And that's it for the old TV rating callbacks. Then we'll head into the callbacks for the old race picks.
Skip.
Hate it. I'm hitting skip 30 and it's not doing anything.
All right. Calling back to our race picks for Kansas. Norm chose Mr. Chase Elliott despite having to change a motor.
Bro, I
Had a
picked
pretty
the
solid
one
day.
Hendrick guy that's blown an engine since 2007.
Yep.
Dan chose Tyler Reddick. Did he show up?
Was
He did.
2311 there?
He showed up in qualifying, and then Sunday he went home.
Okay, that's fair.
I didn't
Yep.
think 2311 was there. So
And I chose Mr. James Dennis Hamlin, who, despite his pit crew's best efforts, finished ahead of the other two.
Supposedly his engine blowing up for the last 60 laps. Guys, it's blown up. All right, keep driving it. Okay, I'm going to drive and
he
finish
was
7th.
He was in a mood yesterday.
Oh, his pit
his
crew
nose
lost him like
race.
40 spots.
True. Yeah, true.
So I can't really blame him there. But Denny was the highest finisher out of the three, so
By
I
one
get
spot.
the point. What?
By 1 spot. Chase finished right behind him.
Yep, doesn't matter.
See, at least you guys had you had a bit of a roller coaster ride. I feel like with Reddick, he was in 28th. Then all of a
All
sudden
day.
he was in 6th.
Yeah,
He was in the
stayed
top
out.
5 for a while. No, even that pit strategy, he was up in the top 10 for a while. And I was
Brother.
like, all right, we're doing all right. And then one of the second to last restarts, he got stuck behind Brad when Brad lost the air on his nose and he's 28th and never got back. I'm like,
Brad
come
lose
on.
the air on his nose, or did he get help from behind?
Yeah.
Because he got
Riddle me that.
shipped by God's greatest gift to this earth.
Yes, true.
So that brings our point score to Norm, holding strong still in the lead with 17. I am nipping at his heels with 16, and Dan is waiting to pounce with 7.
It's coming. Just,
Bro,
it,
consider me Martin frickin' Truex. Killing it all season, dude. Huge run at the end of the
Playoffs
regular
open up
season.
and-
Start the playoffs, dude, and I don't even know. My shoes are on the wrong feet. I put the passenger seat in the driver's side. I put the first gear in 5th. I don't know what I'm doing.
Just having a rough start to these playoffs for
Yeah.
old Norm
I
Pelletier.
need Cole Pern to come in here and save me.
he's got a special trick
I
up
need
his
my
sleeve, and it's
tungsten
made of
butt plug,
tungsten.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh, so with the last place finisher of the 3, Dan gets to choose first for old Talladega. Grab your dart, throw it against the wall. Who do you want for Talladega? Dan Walker.
I'm basing this solely. Only one reason I'm picking this man. The flow is back.
Damn it.
Give me YRB.
You son of a bitch.
Good
Gotcha.
pick. Good pick.
I saw there was
pick.
pre-race yesterday was him walking down pit road, and I was like, "Yo, he's got it back. The
does.
flow has
Yeah,
returned."
they talked about that on Stack and Pegs.
Yeah, Corey's so mad about hair. He's like, I told him on driver interest, he's got to get rid of all that.
Yeah.
He's-
Norm, where are you going for the old Talladega?
I mean, mostly because you guys both won with them in the past 2 weeks.
Uh-oh.
But I think Talladega is going to be a crazy race.
Yeah, it
So I'm going to go with the guy who's going to ride around in the back the entire race and finish well, Dennis Hamlin.
No, I think you're looking at that wrong. I think he's going to remember everyone giving him crap for doing that in Atlanta, and he's going to be super aggressive and getting a wreck.
Talladega is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Because
is.
everybody needs stage points.
Yep.
Yep. I'm going to go with a guy who only seems to show up at super speedways this season, and I'm going with Joey Logano.
Ooh.
See, I was going to go with Cindric, and we could have had all 3.
We could have had a Penske. Ooh, that would have been
I'll let
fun.
you change it.
You know what? Let's change it. I'm going to regret it, but just for the image. just because it'll look cool on the race picks image.
Austin
If he wins with
Cindric.
Cindric, I'm coming for your throat. You're going to come for your own throat
I'll be so mad.
if he wins with Cindric.
I'll be so pissed.
Dude, I was flip flopping. I had 12 down since like the beginning of the playoffs for this race because I was like, this is the YRB race, and then I finished second. I was like, I don't win. I don't get a point, and Dan goes before me. He's picking YRB.
Yeah.
So I was flip
I
flopping.
mean, I was thinking about it on the way down here, and like Kyle said, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I could pick anybody, and I'm like, he's done good in this Talladega race though. So
Yeah, for sure. So we're taking all of Team Penske for Talladega. I have Joey Logano. Dan has YRB, and Austin Cindric for Norm Pelletier. We'll see how it shakes out.
I can't wait for all three of them to wreck each other, and we're like, which one's in front of the other ones?
They pull a Toyota. All right, no, drag him. He made it further into the infield than he did. He wins.
Put him in the campground over there.
All right, now we head into some people's favorite, some people's not, but we call it Norm's Scheme of the Week.
Oh, I forgot this existed.
You forget all the time, and I don't
Brother,
get why.
I didn't look at a single paint scheme this week.
No,
Let's go
nothing.
through them together. I like that.
Kubota,
car.
good scheme.
That picture really didn't. I mean, maybe it was the TV, but it looked deeper.
It was so bright.
Yeah, it looked like
I
a
liked
deep
it.
orange. Hate that because I thought it was Blaney all day.
You got to tell people what it is.
The 2-car, the 3-car, both schemes we've seen before. The Bed Bath & Beyond, it's all right.
It's a good looking car.
Hold on, go back up on the 5-car. Did you see the render of it reversed?
Yeah.
No.
So the blue was the white was the blue, and I don't remember if the red was the same. They were like, they should do this and run it for night races, and I was like,
That'd be cool.
it was
The
actually
red
kinda
was
sick.
the same. They just flipped the blue and the white,
Yeah, it
which
was-
would be funny because then they would run all 3 versions of it because they ran the red at Martinsville.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it'd be like all 3 versions of that.
That'd be
scheme.
cool.
6 Solomon scheme. I like it a lot. It's cool. 7 Hate You.
Take a left.
Yep. 8 Bet MGM. Not bad.
Not clear.
I don't know if I like that car.
The gold is such an ugly color.
It's a terrible gold.
It's like
It's
the
like-
color of Kyle's Tacoma was.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a sand color.
And he also hit a Jersey barrier doing 200. Chase Elliott's Unifirst car looks better than it did at Martinsville.
Bed Bath & Beyond again.
Please, good
FedEx.
scheme.
Oh.
Worth, I love that scheme.
That Worth
I don't know if
scheme
I've
is so
picked
good.
it yet, so I don't know if I can pick it. 15, I actually really liked it because I realized that that's just the tip to like a JB Weld,
yeah.
two-part epoxy tube.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. 16, the scheme was hot. It's just
Didn't make it very far, but
yeah, just kind of conflicting angles of a lot of stuff.
yeah.
17's good. 19 good.
I like we got like
20
like a similar pictures.
21.
Yeah.
Ooh, this might have to.
He's
take
already trying to make it look like the 15 car for next year.
Yep. Yeah. The Pennzoil is always a classic. The Columbia scheme was
I
hot.
actually
It
dug
looked
that.
really good on track. My one problem with the entire thing is the side logo intersects the pattern,
So you kind of
so
can't
you
read
can't
it.
see half the logo. 24 good. 31.
I thought
aye.
that was actually pretty hot. The
just
South
don't-
South Point
car.
one's
I don't love
solid.
Those colors, both of the FRM cars look good. The 34,
Yeah.
38's wicked good.
Yeah.
I just love those colors.
Seen it.
It's a good scheme.
Not clear.
Love that scheme. That's in the snow.
The 44.
The test car.
I've picked the scheme every year, but I think I'm gonna have to pick it again.
The DraftKings car
I
looks
love
great.
the draft.
DraftKings 45.
Ooh,
The full NOS car. I really
The
like.
I didn't
48
hate it.
looked
I just-
really good.
I hate how they come to the paint scheme.
I know, but that with the black base with like what is that, like feathers? Like I don't know. It looks sick.
That was very sharp. I
think
liked it
that
a
one's my
lot.
scheme
I
of the week.
actually really liked Corey's scheme.
I can't get over. Average Joe pointed out
It's the little AOL
the
guy.
child in the logo is the old AOL kid.
Yeah.
And in our Discord, he posted like the GIF of the old AOL dial-up thing, and he goes, "Oh my god, it is the AOL kid! What happened to the AOL kid?"
Or maybe this is AOL Kid Junior now.
Maybe.
Maybe this is the AOL adult now.
So he's okay.
Riddle me that.
Oh, so instead of like the hair going gray, the whole body goes
Yeah.
gray?
Yeah.
51,
71's
71,
perfect.
77. 84 is terrible. 99.
99 looked really good.
Where are you going, Norm?
I'll go with the 45 DraftKings.
45 DraftKings.
For me, it was Bowman's
I
car.
will say-
something about that black
I'm with
base
ya.
did it for me.
It just bugs me.
I know it bothers you, but
It's all AI generated bullshit.
Yeah.
The 51, though, I will say that's my favorite Rick Ware car I've seen this year. I don't know if I'm just paying more attention.
maybe.
I've always liked Justin Haley, so I've always paid attention to the schemes, but I think that's the best paint scheme plus logo placement. Because a lot of times they've had really good paint schemes and they just put like a weird angled, really small logo on
Yeah.
the car.
Yeah.
But that 51 looked really cool.
Well, that
And was
does
fast.
it. So now we'll head into the Some Things Not segment of the show, in which we call Off Track. What do you got for the folks, Dan?
Before I think we get into...
this is not Dan anymore, sir. This is Double Donut Dave.
No, it's Two Donut Dave.
Two Donut Dave?
Two Donut Dave.
I think before we get into ours, I think we should just say if we have any listeners down south.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like hell down there. I know Mike is vegan, is a trucker. He was like 2 hours outside of where all that happened this weekend with the hurricane and everything. I mean, obviously we can't help. We can't do anything. We wish we could. But if you are a listener and you're in that area or affected by it, Ricky didn't have power for a little while. It's just,
I'm sure Ricky's only an hour or two away from
he's
where
not
it's
that
bad.
far. But I've been down in that area when we used to go to Tail of the Dragon. And I mean, it's beautiful down there. But you can see it's all those towns down in the valleys that just got
I mean, all the NASCAR people we follow on Twitter and stuff like that, it's like these are their vacation spots.
Well,
these are where their family lives. It's scary.
brain fart.
Well, our thoughts and prayers with everybody down there, and if you can donate to Red Cross or anything,
Yes.
any of the relief funds, certainly do so.
Skip was saying the place that they stayed at last week, because Bristol's right. A lot of them stayed in Asheville. Like he said, him and his family stayed in Airbnb. He said it's gone.
Jesus.
Like he's like a week ago I was there, and I don't know if anyone shouts to Greg Biffle and Cletus McFarland.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen any of that. It's insane what they're doing. Just flying their helicopters around. Apparently, it's this whole network of people with helicopters that just like
it's
to help.
just the Millionaire Helicopter Club, and they all communicate with each other.
It's sick though seeing some of Cletus has been posting a lot of pictures of them coordinating and stuff. And I mean,
they met this year at Stafford.
Yeah,
because Greg Biffle was at the IROC thing at Lime Rock, and somebody had to leave the Stafford Cletus McFarland race, and Greg Biffle's like, "Hey, I'm right down the road. I'll come race." And they met there, and I mean, Greg Biffle's letting Cletus stay at his house.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's closer.
He's got like a. They said on Corey's podcast that Biffle's got like a cabin up there or something that I guess was all right.
Yeah,
but
Greg Biffle raced in NASCAR when the money was good. Yeah, he's probably got a couple cabins.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely just crazy seeing the stuff coming out of there. I had to stop looking at stuff the other night because just seeing people's posts about
floods you don't think are scary. Like floods, I think about it's like with water rises.
When it rises
But
that
when
fast,
you watch, like especially with like the dam,
that
the
was
dam
scary.
blew out or whatever. The videos and how fast this water was ripping through some of these places, it's scary.
I saw a video today with some guy's dash cam. He's just driving down the highway. It's looking out the back of the car, and you hear him go, "Oh God!" And he slams on the gas, and the entire mountain goes behind him.
Jesus.
Like gone. Like the whole road's gone. I was like, what
Devastating.
the hell? So just know you're in our thoughts, and if there's anything we can do, feel free to reach out, but I don't know what we can do. So
It's just crazy.
it is.
Like you think hurricane, you think coastal. Mm-hmm. Like you think like, oh yeah, Florida's going to get hit hard along the coast. But I mean, this is Tennessee. This is North Carolina. These are just places that got hit with so much rain
Couldn't handle it.
that they just didn't have anywhere for
Yep.
rain to go.
Yep.
Yeah, for
Really
sure.
sad, really scary.
So yeah, happier note. Pretty busy week actually. GTI got towed away on Thursday, so that is hopefully in the process of
Gone forever.
Yeah, hopefully. No, I actually missed that thing. So that is hopefully in the process of getting fixed. And then I spent my entire weekend at the old Faya. Went
Deerfield Fair.
Went Friday night, Saturday night, and then most of Sunday. What Norm referred to, longtime listeners of the show will remember that there is a cider donut place that has a sundae, and I get it every time. But I mix it up, and I get 2 donuts on it because it makes the ice cream to donut ratio equal.
Mm-hmm.
There's just one donut. There's too much ice cream. Not enough donut.
Do they top and bottom it like a sandwich?
No, they side. They do like this and then plop the ice cream in the
So it's
middle.
like
Well,
taco.
with
It's
mine.
like taco, yeah.
Normally the donut's underneath like a brownie sundae, but mine they kind of
Right, they wedge it.
Yeah, they kind of wedge it.
They hit you with the flying V.
So I had said a couple weeks ago, the last fair, Labor Day week, they were like, "Oh, you're that guy." Like they gave it to me for free. Well, there's a different crew that does this fair, and that's the guy that every year remembers me. So I'm standing in line, and I realize I'm not at his window. So I'm just kind of standing there. I order it. The girl takes my order, whatever, and I see him. He hears her go, "Yeah, can I get a donut sundae with 2 donuts?" And he like is talking to someone, and he just stops and like, "Hey!" Like he just points, and he turns around to the entire. There's like, I don't know, 10 people in their little building they have there. "Hey, it's 2 donut Dave!" The entire place turns and looks at me and starts clapping and cheering. One girl goes, "That guy's a legend." Somebody else says we should name the Sunday after him. And I look at him and go, "By the way, my name's not Dave." He goes, "It is now." The guy's so fucking funny.
That's fantastic.
Mind you, There are 2 lines because there's 2 windows. There are 2 lines, 40 people deep that are witnessing this. Steph is sitting at a picnic table across the way.
Here's them cheering.
Eating her, I think she got a steak and cheese. She's sitting there eating it. I look over and she's just looking at me, and then she looks at them and goes, "Oh my God." She starts dying laughing. So that was embarrassing yet hilarious at the same time.
I say this every year. How are you the only person?
I don't know.
Is everyone else just because it doesn't I don't know if I would.
It's an
But it's not something scary.
It's $1 extra.
It's not the
For them to put
forbidden
an extra,
fruit.
for them to put an extra donut on it. So I don't know. But yeah, aside from
Apparently,
that,
President Donald John Trump is in the chat.
John.
oh Jesus Christ,
Is that what the J stands
is
for?
that what the J stands for?
Apparently.
Mr. President,
Apparently.
it's probably DeBarro.
I'm him.
It's him.
I can't even concentrate.
I know.
But yeah, hung out there. Like I said, most of the weekend.
It's the best text I got all weekend, by the way.
I know. I had to. I was gonna save it, but I was like, I can't.
Oh, that was the best text I ever received.
So-
I was mid conversation with my fiance, and I just zoned out. She's like, "Did something happen?" I'm like, "No, it's Dan's double donut time." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "I'll tell you later."
Tell you later. Yeah, ate way too much food, did a lot of walking. Traffic wasn't too bad. We timed it right on Friday and Saturday. Sat in a little bit yesterday, but still not too bad. Great having the camper there. I'm actually going to miss it next year because the week we bring the camper up, we bring the camper up the weekend before. That's Loudon next year.
Ah.
So I was like, I told her mom, I was like, you ain't got it next year and for the foreseeable future,
Well, see what the schedule does the
Hopefully
year after.
forever.
Hopefully forever. But yeah, it's so nice. When you're walking around the fair and you got to go to the bathroom and you see the lines and you're like, Steph's like, we got our own bathroom. Just walk back over to the camper.
Yeah, you're officially a carny, technically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I heard somebody say that because there's one of the entry walkways is right behind because our camper was backed up to a fence in the horse show area. And I heard some little kid, do these people work here? Why do they have their campers? And I was like, son of a bitch. Almost caught the maximum toaster in the bathtub today, or what was that, Saturday night?
Yeah.
So behind my camper down a hill is where the truck pulls are. And they do tractor pulls. They do the antique ones. They go with the speed of smell, but it's all about torque.
Yeah.
And then in the last 8-9 years, they started having real truck pulls, big diesel bros. You can tell because it looks like something's on fire with all the black smoke. Saturday night must have been some crazy unlimited class because it sounded like Gen 4 Cup cars over there. There was an S10.
Hell yeah.
There was an S10. I mean, that thing had to have been turning 10,000 RPM, just screaming V8. I was like,
Yeah, it was me.
I'm in. So I'm like, I can't see anything, and it's always packed down there. I'm like, I wonder.
Thanks, Steve.
It's I wonder. So I climb up the ladder like we do at Pocono, which all our footprints are still up there. I figured those wash off by now. It still looks like Pocono
You
up
parked
there.
under a tree.
No, I don't. Not in the summer. It's actually parked
Oh.
out in the road in the summer.
Yeah, it's on the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, I back it up into the trees in the winter.
Oh, gotcha.
It's just easier. So I get up, I climb the ladder, I stand up, and I turn around, and the power lines are at eye level. If I had stood up faster, I would have put my head into them. You know how we get on the camper, you kind of crawl up onto it and then stand up.
Yeah.
I did that.
Don't roll.
If
but crawl.
Don't roll. But if I had just walked up and stood straight up, there was 3 power lines at my eye level. I was like, that could have got spicy real fucking fast. I didn't even notice them.
Almost got
It's
lucky.
something you got to note for when you're parking your camper
Yeah.
as well.
So I sat there, watched a couple of the trucks go, and I was like, this is sick. People are walking by you got the best view up there. I'm like, God damn
Sure
right,
do.
I paid a lot of money for this view. You go down those stands, it don't cost nothing. It's $12 to get in, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a good time. It's always kind of a bummer. I went back there today to get the camper out, and it's kind of like that Monday after NASCAR when you see them packing everything up, and you're like, it's over,
Dad in the chat. 1.5 weeks, 9 days, 216 hours.
Bro, I'm so excited.
Can't wait.
It kind of hit me the other day that we're only 2 weeks away. I'm ready.
Less than.
I keep thinking it's when are we? Right now. And then I'm like, it's in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's a week from Wednesday that I'm leaving.
Yeah, you're leaving a couple days before us.
Yeah, Wednesday
I'm
night.
so mad we're going to miss the kickball. You got to get Corey's attention and be like, sup, bro?
Yeah, he already thinks that we're a stalker.
You got a Celsius, bro?
Anyway,
Yeah,
Norm, what do
that's
you got?
pretty much it.
Not too much. Played a little bit of polka on Friday night. Didn't lose a whole bunch of money. Lost enough. I did lose my goddamn drafty truck championship the other night, and it's tainted the game for me.
The
I
trucks
went-
are
How'd
hard.
you lose it?
The trucks are hard, man.
Gosh darn tear, dude. I was leading from week 1. No, week 2 because I didn't win the first race. And dude, I could literally like the entire season start in the back. It never left first place in points. Every single race, I'm like just padding it top 5, top 5, top 5, top 5, 2 or 3 wins. Race 18, I do a bad block. It's on me. Bad block. You know, spotter wasn't speaking up. Made a bad block, get wrecked. Like dag nabbit, finished like 30th.
Yep.
I was like, all right, cool. We're good. I'm still way in the lead in points. Week 19, get in it. Don't even finish the first lap, get wrecked.
Oh,
I was like, all right, I'm still in the lead in points. We just got to be clean next week. Final race of the season. I don't have a truck for next week. Both of my trucks were wrecked.
you should have bought a new one.
It takes 2 weeks to build a new truck.
No, if you watch the ad, it's ready.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
It's like speed up or whatever.
Yeah,
It'll
I've
play
seen
an
that.
ad and it's ready.
I didn't know that. I should have done that. I missed.
I mean,
pretty
you're
much
doing
the-
better than you when we left here last week when you had $600 in your account.
Yeah, I have millions now. I'm just banking money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
to pay
I'm
off your
not
loans.
even picking sponsors for money. I'm picking sponsors just because the car looks cool. Like I don't even care what they pay me. I'm getting paid like $1,000 a race in the truck series. It cost me $6,000 to enter that shit.
Yeah.
But I ended up missed the last 3 races. Came in second in points.
Do you have any championships yet?
I win a championship before I move on. So I won the rookie rush. Took almost 100 races, so 5 full years
Yep.
to win the championship. Same thing happened the year before.
Dude, I had
Like I got wrecked on like lap or race 15, and like I just crawled my way to second place in points.
I was telling him about it before you got here that I think the first like 3 seasons in Rookie Rush, I had like 7 wins. I'm unbeatable. And then I get like 4 or 3 DNFs in the last 5 races, and I finished 4th in points. I was like,
Yeah.
ah.
I was like 20th in
So,
points every season.
Since we're on the topic, I downloaded the game.
Here last
Here.
week. So
Yep.
almost a week ago to the minute.
Yes. So here are my career stats since the last episode. I have 78 starts in Rookie Rush,
Jesus Christ.
17 wins, blah, blah, blah. Average finish 12th, 1 championship. Truck Series, I got 73 starts, 2 championships, 17 wins, an average finish of 10th. And Grand National, I now have 32 starts with 8 wins, no championship
So-
yet, with an average finish of 9th.
I've had this game since the day it dropped, which was a couple weeks ago, maybe a month and a half ago at this point. I have 78 Rookie Rush starts, 1 championship, 22 wins. I have 33 truck starts, no championships, 2 wins. You have a problem, sir.
I have done 183 races in a week.
So I have also had this since day one. I have 97 rookie rush starts, 1 championship, 18 wins.
I got the most wins out of everybody in Rookie Rush. at
Holland
least.
Trucks, I have 31 starts, 0 championships, 4 wins.
You got more wins than me than that.
You don't even have 4 wins in
I have
trucks?
2. I can't win in that series, man. I'm just top 5 in them today.
I got, wait, how many wins you got in Rookie Rush?
18.
What do you got?
I got 17.
22.
Okay, so I'm
How many
almost there.
starts?
What do you got in truck?
I have
78.
I have 33 starts, 2 wins
Yeah, you have
In
like
truck?
in trucks.
you have 1 full less.
I got
season in Rookie Rush.
17 wins in trucks.
Yeah, I'm only on my 2nd truck season, so I think I did like 3 seasons of just Rookie Rush. Then I did a season of both rookie and truck at the same time. And now I sold all my Rookie Rush stuff. And
Yeah, I'm just doing truck
I
and
only have
Xfinity.
truck right now.
So how many championships you got total?
Just 1.
I got 3.
I only have 1
I have a problem.
because I won a championship in Rookie Rush and I moved the trucks
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I lost my first championship. Average finish position of 9.8 though. It's pretty good.
On
In
what,
what?
rookie?
In rookie?
Trucks. Rookie is 15.9.
I got 10-7 in rookie and 14th in trucks.
Bro, I did
12-2
I did
in
not.
rookie, 10-6 in truck, and 9-9 in Xfinity.
Ooh, look at you.
I did not know how to play this game
Yeah.
for a while.
I was telling Kyle, I don't like the trucks because you get spit out of the draft so easily.
Oh, and then
The
you get
trucks-
ran over
And
by
then you
like a
get
freight
absolute
train.
smoked.
You got to watch that. You almost just got to get out of the way and let your lane.
Honestly,
go.
what I've been trying to do is, so in the Rookie Rush series, my strategy was I got in line until I got to the front. Like I'd be at the front in 1 lap. The trucks, every time I do that, we push ourselves out so far. We only have like 5 trucks, and then the field comes at 40 miles an hour faster and just plows us all over. So I've been trying to like hang back in the trucks,
Yeah.
and then like lap 2, like then start pushing towards the front. That
Yeah.
way it's not as bad when you get freight trained.
Yeah. So we all have a problem, and I hate you for making me download this, but
you
it
don't.
is a great time. For me, not a whole bunch of stuff, just continuing on the house projects and did some land clearing over the weekend and more wedding prep because they're getting down to it.
Almost
Getting
there.
close. Getting close. But yeah, that'll do it. Shall we?
Yeah, why not?
Breaking news.
The news.
Drafty cars in the news. Kyle's a 3-time champion in a week.
Get out.
All right, we'll start with some of
When do the conversation start of if you want Kyle Belcher or Max Verstappen?
We'll start with Rackley War. We talked about it a little bit, but Dawson Sutton is what we alluded to. We thought he was related, and that is, in fact, correct. So it seems like Matty D and Ty Dillon were simply keeping the seat warm
Placeholders.
for the old family pass down, if you will. And first time he's in the truck, gets top 5, so he's doing okay. Speaking of which, Ty Dillon obviously being out of that ride for the duration of the season and probably forever because owner's son's running it now. Colleague Racing's in the news.
Why, Kyle?
Colleague Racing is in the news because we found out that Daniel Hemrick is out and Ty Dillon is back.
Yay.
They will also be rebranding that 31 vehicle to the 10.
So that's a swapping out a square peg for a square peg at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not really upgrading, you're not really downgrading, you're kind of just lateral moves.
I mean, Hemrick has the same amount of top 10s and about a third as many cup starts.
True.
So, I mean,
I've
I guess
read
his
that
resume's
Ty
a little
Dillon-
better.
Hemrick is in a much better position because all the cars are as competitive now as ever.
Yeah.
Ty Dillon was never in good equipment in Cup. That being said, I don't think he deserves good equipment, but with Ty Dillon comes a much stronger relationship with RCR.
Well, that's exactly what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. It's a money play and an alliance play.
I've said it multiple times this year that I forgot Daniel Hemrick was even in the Cup Series this year. Multiple times until something would happen. I go, oh, yeah.
Ty Dillon does have a very low DNF rate, so he will most likely bring it home in
but a
in-
very
in
high
decent shape.
DNS rate, aka does not start because he misses a lot of races.
Yep.
Because he sucks butts.
Yeah, so that's kind of continues to pile on our thoughts of money.
What is Colleague doing?
They're trophy hunting, Dan. Isn't it clear?
Well,
That
we
was the
talked about them
biggest-
spreading themselves too thin, and they're hurting for cash. So who do they put in the car? The kid that brings a lot of cash.
Yeah.
Which
I mean-
I don't know how. I mean, I understand
I
like half the battle
assumed
is
he had-
sponsor stuff and being good
But he
with
doesn't even
sponsors
have
and
a
bringing.
personality.
It's I don't get
Nor
it.
a,
Austin-
nor a sponsor.
like,
he always
Au-
had Ferris, and they
Yeah.
haven't been on the truck once.
Like, Austin at least has a personality. Ty is like wet fart.
Mm.
Like, he's just has no personality.
Yeah. So yeah, and they're also rebranding to the 10 car. So there'll be the 10 and the 16 in Cup, the 10, 11, and 16 in Xfinity. So that's that.
Yippee.
Also talking some numbers. Allegedly, the 4 will be heading over to Front Row Motorsports with Noah Gregson behind the wheel.
This is rumor, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
This is rumor that came out of Noah Gragson's mouth.
Yeah, somebody was in an autograph session this week. Someone was asking him what number he's going to be, and he was like, the 4.
They told me the 4.
Yeah. So
That'd be cool. It doesn't really flow like 4, 34,
Yeah,
38.
that is weird.
I hope they
It-
change the other ones. I
It'll
guess.
fit their mold,
I was-
especially like the fonts, like the 4s will match.
I was fully expecting the 36, though. I think
Yeah.
we all were.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. We also got Nice Motorsports in the news. Matt Mills will be driving the 42 truck full time in 2025. So kudos to him. Getting himself a full.
Full-time red.
Thank you.
all right?
Jesus.
Jesus, buddy.
Long day. Joe Gibbs Racing kind of more in the rumor mill than anything. A lot of talk that FedEx may be out.
I mean, we've already seen it this year
this
how
has
much they
been
have cut down.
trickling down since like 2012.
Yeah, you can if you go back and look at like Denny's paint schemes for the last 5 years, it's less and less FedEx.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it
mean,
used to
he
be
wasn't even wearing FedEx at Media Day.
no. Like we've seen Mavis come up. They've been doing a shit ton of races this
Yeah.
year. Mavis and Sport Clips. I feel like we've seen the Sport Clips car more.
Yeah.
And I feel like FedEx, it's like this week I saw he was in the FedEx car. I was like, oh, yeah. You forgot he had that.
Yeah.
You know?
I like the Mavis schemes. I think they look
I do
nice.
too.
I think the colors are
Just
sharp.
That, to me, that's one of those, like we talk about when we were kids. You knew who the Kellogg's car was. You knew who the Goodwrench car was. You knew who the Valvoline car was. you know who the FedEx car is. So it's weird to hear that
I mean,
long
Denny's been
time
with FedEx since
his rookie year.
before 05.
Yeah.
Like, I think he had him before he came to Cup.
Yeah. So that's just one of those long time like legacy sponsors that it's like,
It's
whoa.
sad to see a big sponsor like that potentially leave, but at the same time, FedEx is one of those companies. It's like, I can't believe they're still spending this much money.
It is, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially with how badly they handle packages.
Right, because you think of
Right.
you think of like the major shipping companies, and it's like FedEx is like they're getting to the lowest tier.
Yeah.
Like it's like USPS is overstepping them.
Poor Levi in the chat. Mavis got my boy. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah. So we'll see where that goes, but that's been swirling quite a bit in the old rumor mill. Also, we get a couple bits of NASCAR news. I kind of clumped them together. NASCAR announced that they will be moving to Ticketmaster officially in 2025.
That lit the fucking internet on fire.
Yeah, I mean it's not
I
crazy. I mean,
understand-
SMI is already using
That's the thing.
Ticketmaster.
I don't think a lot of people realize that SMI already uses Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, with what we've seen the last couple years with Ticketmaster, whether, all these giant tours that have come out, whether it's, I know, like the Taylor Swift shit, like it was like a war to get tickets for that. Like the big Coldplay tour that they're on right now, same thing. It's been like, and it's a war to even get them. And then like once you get in the queue, and then it's like all the tickets at face value get bought, and then they're right back up on the site as resale for, we got lucky. Like when we went to Blink-182 in New York a couple years ago, we were able to get in right away. We had like a pre-sale thing. We bought our tickets for, I don't know, I think it was like for the pair, it was like $180. But within an hour, tickets in the same section were on the website, like being resold for like $600 a piece.
That's so wrong.
And that's what it is. And that's, I mean, Ticketmaster, I think there's like a government inquiry on them right now because of all this stuff. Because it's like, what are you doing? And it was honestly, I think it was with like when the first round, like last year of the Taylor Swift tour came out, people were like, what the hell is going on? Like these tickets were this. I had it happen. I think it was that Blink concert because I was looking at New York. Steph was looking at Boston. And it was like, she had some tickets, like got them, was getting through the checkout. And by the time she got through the checkout, they had gone up like $200. And she's like, what the, huh?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mess. And a lot of people have experienced that. So I think that was everybody's knee jerk reaction is that's what's going to happen. I don't think that's what's going to happen. We've seen it. We've used it at Loudon at SMI for years.
Yeah, we use it
and
every year.
It's been fine, I don't think ticket prices have been jacked up or anything. I mean, to be fair, NASCAR races don't have the demand like a Coldplay or a Taylor Swift or a fucking any of these massive tours that are going around.
Creed. Yeah.
Creed.
Yeah. So interesting. I don't think it's.
I think a lot of people were just knee jerk reaction on that one. I don't think we'll see that much of a difference. But those knee jerk reactions were. I don't know if you saw that thread that Gluck posted on Twitter like the day it happened. He was like, "Hey, check out some of the replies on this," and it was thousands of replies, and not a single one of them was positive.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean it's kind of a quiet week of news. I didn't have any other bits of that. You guys have anything else you wanted to add?
The big rumor possibly coming to Talladega is the new roof fin.
Oh, the friggin'
Yeah.
the fin that goes through the windshield.
Yeah, the full length of the car, freaking
Yeah,
figure eight fin.
essentially they'll be taking the rumor is, and I guess if you listen to the teardown, Gluck was like, "Oh, we just saw this. It hasn't been officially announced yet, but I would expect it." Basically, they added that fin on the right rear when LaJoie flipped. This extends that fin all the way across the roof and down into the windshield.
Yeah, like from the base of the windshield to the base of the rear window is going to be a fin. And it sounds like this is all but official. I mean, supposedly they should have been letting the teams know today
Yeah.
because, I mean, they talked about it on DBC as like Rudy Fugel was one of the guys they asked. And he goes, they got to tell me by Monday. He goes, we load up on Wednesday. That doesn't give us a lot of time to add this to our car.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I guess Gluck had said there was a lot of the drivers were concerned with visibility.
Right.
I
You
guess
got to think that's
Suarez.
going to affect the right side of your windshield. So that's top lane above you, probably two cars you're not going to be able
And
to see.
Suarez said it. Apparently, he was, I don't know if it was in a group chat or in a group meeting or whatever. Suarez was like, so now we're going to have 75% of it tear off?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's another
Or
thing
is
I was
what are you
thinking
going to put a little one on the other side? Like, what are you doing here? I don't know. We'll see, I guess. But
We'll find out.
a little bit of news just dropped a couple hours ago from Bob Pockris. NASCAR and production company Words and Pictures. That's a hell of a name.
Yeah,
Is that
real
like-
creative.
Is that like Words with Friends?
Maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Words and Pictures announce a second season of the Netflix series Full Speed. The companies also have formed a production partnership, Full Speed Entertainment, to develop various racing content.
Excellent.
When
I am
was
just excited
a
about Full
young
Speed
boy.
because that was
They did such a good job
I was
with
I was
that.
telling these guys it was somebody's podcast I was listening to like a week or two ago, and they said it was when all the charter stuff was blowing up, and they had said that they hadn't really seen any of the Netflix guys around. Norm said he heard it the opposite, so maybe they're hiding very well. I don't know, but that it kind of clicked in my head. I was like, man, that might be maybe they won't do it again, and wouldn't that just be NASCAR to shoot themselves in the foot by having this massively successful? I don't know, massively successful, but this Netflix series.
I mean,
that-
it was trending for a while,
Exactly.
so yeah.
This
did
Netflix
well.
series that you're hoping is going to do what Drive to Survive did for F1 and what Full Swing did for golf.
Mm-hmm.
And you were trending in that direction because it was very well done. I was like, that would just be so NASCAR for them to be like, just have one season of it and then it disappears.
Right, or
Yeah.
even like best case scenario, for the worst case, them start it so late that it's like, all right, we start the week 5 of the playoffs or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, if you're going to do this, you need to, I don't know if they did or didn't, but you need to start weeks before the playoffs to get the suspense to make the playoffs. They're like, all right, now we're going to focus on the guys.
I mean, you
That
got to
would
start
just
at the
be-
beginning just to get coverage.
Yeah, but that would just be so NASCAR because we saw them do it with that Race to the Championship show. Awesome show, but we put it on 11 o'clock on Monday nights on USA.
It was awful.
Like the show itself, the content in the show was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Who the hell's watching that?
I still couldn't even find the final episode.
I never found the final episode.
Yeah.
It's probably on some cutting room floor somewhere.
It was
at
one of
NBC.
those things. It was like that Kevin James show. I never watched it because it got canceled before I even got a chance to. So I'm like, I'm not going to put time into this. And that was the same thing with NASCAR Countdown to Championship or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was like it was canceled before it started, pretty much. And Full Speed is really good, and it's what they missed on Countdown to the Championship. Was that what it was called?
It was Race to the Championship.
Race to the Championship.
Yeah.
Well, they missed on that. They picked up on in Full Speed. They got more relevant drivers
Yes.
on Full Speed. It was more like we're going to focus on the chase guys, the guys in the playoffs. We're going to focus on the guys that are out there racing for championships and racing for wins every week instead of the Race to the Championship, which was like Austin Dillon, Corey LaJoy, Eric Jones, like cool guys, great personalities, but
They're not the drama.
you're going to talk to them after the race and like, yeah, I'm pumped I got 21st today.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Like you want to
Full-
be talking to Kyle Larson and Ryan Blaney. Yeah, we're door to door for the win there.
Meanwhile, Full Speed is in Seabell's bus at Phoenix last year after he blows a brake rotor and loses the championship.
Yeah.
Like that was unbelievable television. You
Yeah.
know? So I'm happy. I think the formula they have is perfect. Film the playoffs. What?
Oh, the Wi-Fi just wasn't
You look
doing anything.
Panicked for a second. I think the formula is great, much like they do with Drive to Survive, where they film it, they cut it up, in the winter, and then right before we start hyping up for Daytona is when it comes out because it came out like 3 weeks before Daytona,
Yeah.
like something like that.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what
Sounds
I'm worried
about
about?
right.
Dale Jr., Marty Smith. Dale Jr. already signed a deal with Prime.
Oh,
Marty Smith,
it's been rumored.
we kind of we're all hoping he goes
yeah.
there, but it's rumored that he will also go to Prime. Does that mean they're no longer going to be executive producers, narrators for Full Speed? Because that's like,
That made it. Yeah,
we love him. We call him NASCAR Jesus. But if you want something NASCAR related to be successful, Junior needs to be involved.
well, and he had a lot of say in what it looked like,
Right, exactly.
how it was put together, and I think that's half the reason why it was so damn good.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. I'm just happy that it's happening again. At
Yeah.
least I didn't want to see that go. I didn't want us to get to January and have us all be like, "Damn, where's that Netflix show?" Why did that happen?
Yeah.
Because of all this bullshit with the charters and NASCAR stepping on their own foot half the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I am happy that is happening. What it
Yeah.
looks like, we'll see. I'm sure it'll be great. Netflix rarely misses with these sports docs. They've all been. Every one of them.
And dropping it in January is brilliant too. 'Cause
Oh, it
it gets
is.
people hyped up
Well, they
for
do
the
this,
season.
They do the same thing with Drive to Survive. It comes out I think a couple weeks before the first race, and then Full Swing is kind of the same way. It comes out a couple weeks before the golf season really kicks off.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I don't know if the tennis one has been successful. They do have a tennis one.
Not
I
surprised.
forget what it's called.
I'm sure it is. Tennis is a lot more popular than people actually think.
Yeah, it really is.
No.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you want to do? Shall we head on down to Kansas?
I feel like there was more, but I also feel like there wasn't.
Yeah, there was a lot of little things.
we talked about Ty Norris last week.
Yes, we did.
Yep. I think we got it.
Yeah, I think we got
That's got to be about it.
That's sure.
All right. We're not in Kansas anymore.
Yes, we are.
We're going to Kansas.
All right, triple header weekend at Kansas for the top 3 series of NASCAR. We started things off with the last race in the round of 10, not to confuse everybody, of the Craftsman Truck Series with the Kubota Tractors 200. 2 people will be going home at the end, or did go home, I should say, at the end of this race. Good race overall. I mean, Majeski led the field to green on pole, takes the first stage. Put on a pretty good show there. Mr. Heimtime taking the second stage, and once again, Lane Riggs playing spoiler.
Dude, I thought
just
he was-
up front all day
Yeah,
long.
I thought he was going to go 3 for 3.
I was hoping he did. The end of that second stage, I'm like, that boy coming.
That team is cheating their asses off, whatever they're doing.
It's awesome. Did you see the Matt Mills Corey Dave wreck?
I did not. I had my phone on watching this, but I was playing poker, so I wasn't.
Yeah,
really
it was
paying
weird. They're coming down the backstretch, basically going dead straight, and Mills just hangs a hard right
attention. Oh,
and
I
just
saw that.
buries
Was
Corey
Stephen
Day in the left
Parsons
rear.
his spotter?
Maybe, but it was right, not left.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that one was weird. It was almost like
It looked like a tire just exited the chat. He just
don't
went
know.
hard right.
I don't know if it's relevant on the trucks or Xfinity cars like it is in the Cup, but like Corey LaJoy always talks about getting on the stops.
Right.
So pretty much you make a hard maneuver, whether it's left or right, and you kind of bottom out that shock, and now you're just on metal. There's no compression anymore, so
Right.
it's just like it's solid.
Turns
I
into a
think-
ski.
Right, and that kind of just bounces you in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I forget who was in the middle of them, but maybe he was trying to tuck in behind, and then
I
just
think
it
he
went
was-
hard right
I
when they
think
caught
he
the
was
air.
making like a hard left to get low, and the truck just reacted like, oh shit, and just snapped right.
Maybe. Yeah, I
But
didn't really
was,
dive
it was
into it.
definitely
but-
a weird one.
And then Corey Day went just nose first into the wall. Thankfully, he was okay, but that was a rough one.
Yeah, he had a rough ARCA race too, I think.
Yeah, but towards the end of the race, we have Ty Majeski out to a very big lead. Was it 9 and change seconds, something like that? Corey Heim got around Honeycutt, I think it was, for second, and tries to start reeling in Majeski, and then with 1 to go, Ty Majeski, Ben Rhodes out of fuel.
Oh, is that what happened?
Mm-hmm. Heim time takes the lead as Majeski runs out of steam, takes a checkered flag. Old Heim time. Lane Riggs finishing second. Eckes, Honeycutt, and Dawson Sutton first time in that Rackley War 25 truck, bringing it home 5th after starting 5th. So apparently that truck can do things.
Yeah, and that's their. We did get confirmation that is their kind of like their prodigy kid that's been running all their late
Son,
model
yeah.
stuff. And
Did we just
so-
talk about this?
Yeah, I talked about that in news. Norm wasn't listening.
What are you talking about?
I literally said all that in news.
What?
It was the first thing he said in news.
We have a news segment?
When the fuck did we get ice cream?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's better than Richard Childress's prodigy son, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair enough. He's going over to college.
Yeah.
So Corey Heim takes the checkered flag. Ben Rhodes and Daniel Dye are going home.
Yeah, unfortunate for Ben Rhodes.
What's Michael Waltrip going to do?
Right?
Who's he going to talk about now?
They're just gonna have Daniel Dye be like an in-race reporter now every race. He did cut his hair apparently prematurely.
I saw that.
Everyone was
Yeah.
making a big deal about that. I was like, he doesn't look like a freaking alfalfa anymore. Like, good for him.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, it sucks for Ben Rhodes. I love Ben Rhodes. Obviously, his
His
championship-
performance wasn't there this
It
year.
wasn't there last year either, and he somehow won the championship.
That's
Well,
the
he turns
crazy
it
thing.
on like when it counted. And
what
just-
he does is he turns up after he wins the championship, and God damn it, I wanted to see that a third time.
I know, right? I'll agree with you there.
oh man,
All right, let's head to Saturday for the drama. The Kansas Lottery 300 drama-filled Xfinity Series race. Shush. Wow.
bunch of it.
I didn't watch either of these races,
Oh.
so I was stuck in no service land during both these races.
Brandon Jones continues his domination, if you will, of Kansas, taking the field to green. It does well here for some weird reason. Just kind of fits his style, I suppose.
Kansas and Martinsville for some reason.
Great save by Connor Zilic on
Dude.
lap 1.
Dude, I did see that because I watched like the first 10 laps of this race before we bailed. I did forget that. I thought he was wrecked. He should have been wrecked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
Like he was completely sideways. That kid's
That was
got a problem.
sick.
And didn't he have like 4 saves at one point? Like,
he had like 2 or 3 good
Yeah.
ones. I think he's lucky that it was lap 1.
yes.
In 1, he had the tires to save it because if those tires were worn out, I don't know if he saves that. In 2, it's lap 1, so no one's pushing.
right.
Like if this was like lap 35 out of 36 in a stage and he gets loose, all 8 guys behind him are going to fill that hole and it's
Pile right in.
carnage.
Yeah.
But he made a masterful
Dan
save.
likes when that happens.
Good for him. I mean, this kid has obviously proven himself on road courses. He's had a couple good runs on short tracks, but this is his first time, I think, ever. He might have done the ARCA race, being on a 1.5 miles. And I mean, he qualified way better than I expected to. He ran top 10 the entire race, so good for him.
Yeah, for sure. Eric Almirola got around Chandler Smith for the lead towards the end of the first stage. Taylor Gray blows a motor on the front stretch, bringing out a caution, ending the first stage, giving it to Mr. Eric Almirola in the 20 car.
That had to have been a little scary for the rest of the JGR cars.
Yeah.
Like
For
all
sure.
3 JGR cars, other than the 19, were still strong. And you see your teammate there on the apron with a blown engine, you're just like, great.
We had kind of mid-stage 2, if you will, probably like 20 to go in the second stage. We see Justin Allgaier choke away his cushion pretty quickly. Got into it with Sheldon Creed, spins to the inside, and just buries it.
Yeah. Doesn't hit. Oh, no, this one he did hit a ton. I'm sorry. I was mistaking. I was confusing it with another incident. Yeah, he jacks the car up.
Yep.
I mean, rips the whole left front off the thing. I mean, Godspeed to that pit crew because they were going at it with every tool in their toolbox trying to fix that thing. But, yeah, I mean, Allgaier, I mean, it's just JRM in general. You put them in a good position, and they will shoot themselves in the foot every time.
He was what? 30 points up going in or something like that, and now he's below?
Yeah, well, he has 15 stage wins this year.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
had
every round
30-something points
Every
by a
round
lot.
of the playoffs, he's going to jump to the front, so he's just got to hold on.
He's got to survive.
Yeah.
He's got to not wreck.
Yeah, he could finish 7th in every single race and get no stage points and be fine. You don't need to be racing this hard
Yeah.
and get
Yeah.
incidents like this.
Yeah. We also have the end of stage 2, Sam Mayer taking the second stage, but we have the Austin Hill Riley Herbst incident. Herbst seemed to be a little loose, and Austin Hill just finished him off.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be rare for me to say this. I don't put this on Austin Hill at all.
He put it on himself, actually,
Yeah, which
which
I
is
find,
very impressive because even if it's 100% on him, we've seen him, it was his fault.
yeah,
Cole Custer wrecked me.
yeah,
You tried to kill him.
yeah.
So
I like you're not going to hit the brakes right there. You're coming to the freaking green checker.
Yeah.
You're in the top 10. You're going for stage points. The guy in front of you is dead sideways. Yeah, you're going to move him.
Yep.
Like that's what you have to do, and you have a car right on your rear bumper.
yeah.
So I'm surprised he took ownership of this. I mean, obviously, I think if they were racing for the stage win, he wouldn't have said anything. But because they were 7th and 8th or 8th and 9th, wherever they were, it was like maybe I didn't need to hit him for that one point. But I mean, it's the dude's dead sideways in front of you, and you just help him spin. I mean, I don't really know why you would be beating yourself up about that.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're Austin Hill and you do way more egregious shit every
You
other
do
week.
worse shit all the time.
Yeah. And
Like
then
this one, I will take credit for. It's like you punted Cole Custer into the inside wall doing 200 when he had no tires on his car.
speaking of Cole Custer, he got into it with Chandler Smith.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why he's frustrated, but at the same time, it's like I don't think Chandler Smith really did anything that anyone else wouldn't do.
Gave him a little squeeze.
Yeah, you're racing for the win. I mean, Cole had been working on him for 40 laps. I mean, poor Cole was clearly way faster than him. They have a hard charging Eric Almirola coming from 3rd, and there's 1.5 lanes you can use on this racetrack, and they were in both of them. And he tried to get to his outside. I mean, he may have had a fender there, but Chandler Smith did what Chandler Smith had to do to keep that lead, and he did it. I understand why Cole's mad. I'm sure he's more pissed about being stuck behind him, aero blocking him for 25 laps than he is about getting pinched almost in the fence.
Yeah, he was already frustrated at before it even happened. But yeah, Custer ultimately does get by him and then has to fight off Mr. Eric Almirola unsuccessfully. Almirola does get to the bumper of Custer with 5-6 to go, something like
I thought
that.
Cole was good because when Eric was battling the 81, Cole took off. And he was like half a second, 0.6 of a second ahead of him. Like by the end of that straightaway, I was like, oh, he's good. He's just going to freaking gap both of them. But Eric was so good in the long run. He made quick work of his teammate in the 81, and he just chased him down, and it was a good race.
Yeah, for sure. Eric Almirola does take the checkered flag. Obviously not playing in the playoffs there, so he plays a little spoiler. Yeah, after the race, we see Herbst and Austin Hill having a chit-chat. Sam Mayer, AJ Allmendinger, I think it was.
Sammy Smith. And
Sammy
AJ
Smith,
Allmendinger.
sorry.
That was like a lap 2 incident.
Yeah, quite a few people having conversations after this race, so a little drama.
Yeah, so a little context. The Sammy Smith, AJ Allmendinger incident was damn near identical to the Riley Herbst, Austin Hill. Sammy Smith, I mean, he was middle, 3 wide, gets a little loose off turn 4, and AJ was right behind him and just nudged him. And I think Sammy Smith, it caved in his rear bumper.
It did, yeah.
Which gave him a big old parachute on the right rear, that sucks, and it happened so early in the race. But, dude, like, if you're going to get loose, you can't blame the guy behind you for hitting you when you get loose and check up,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
especially when you're 3-4 wide coming out of a corner.
So take a look at the playoff standings as we leave Kansas. We have Cole Custer now running point, leading Chandler Smith, Austin Hill, Sam Mayer. Actually, we'll start back at the top there. Custer's got 41 to the good, Chandler Smith 36, Austin Hill 26. They're all in pretty good shape. Starts to get tight after that. Sam Mayer only 13 up, Creed 10 up. SVG actually had a quiet, good run this weekend.
Yeah, unfortunate for him, no stage points. But he did, I think, got 8th at the end of that race. So,
Yeah.
that's very good improvement. First time ever being at this track.
For sure.
And especially, like, he's fighting an uphill battle at every race because Colleague just doesn't have the speed.
Right.
So, for somebody with no experience at these tracks,
In not the
in
best
the playoffs
equipment.
for the very first time his rookie season, and, by the way, your teammates are running 20th and 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you now have to somehow get to the next round of the playoffs. Like, he's fighting an uphill battle, and he's coming out good.
He's doing very well. Much better than I expected him to. Probably everybody else, too. Jesse Love, 3 points to the good. Riley Herbst, last one above the cut line, 1 point up. Now looking below the cut line, Justin Allgaier now 1 point behind after starting, first this round?
I mean, he is just, you name it, there's going to be a way he's going to ruin getting a championship.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
lucky for him, JRM cars are fantastic at super speedways.
Yes.
Unlucky for him, he will end up drafting with his teammates and they will all wreck each other.
Probably.
Yeah, most likely. The Dingers, 13 points below. PK, Parker Kligerman, 15 below. And Sammy Smith, 23 points out heading into Talladega.
Yeah, this cut line is going to be, I think, way more interesting than the Cup one.
The Cup one's already
The
shaping
Cup
up
one,
to be.
yeah, the Cup one I think is going to be pretty level. There's going to be some swapping, but Xfinity, I mean, Talladega is going to be way crazy in the Xfinity race, plus the road courses.
Oh, when they go
mean,
to the Roval, I mean, you got
we're gonna
Dinger.
have-
If Dinger's below the cut line, you could.
There's Parker. Parker can get a
Parker,
bunch
yeah.
of points of the road course. SVG, Dinger, Allgaier. Like, there's a bunch of guys low
You've got
that
three
could
or
flip their season at the road
You've
course.
got 3 or 4 of your Xfinity road course ringers in the bottom half of the
the
playoff
Cup
standings.
guys. You got Briscoe and Cindric below the cut line right now. They're good at road courses, but guess what? Everybody's good at road
Yeah,
courses.
exactly.
Everybody's going to get stage points. Everybody's going to be battling for the win. You can't make as much of a difference in the Cup Series because everyone's so close
Yeah.
than you can in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
for sure. So that wraps up the Xfinity race, and we'll head to Sunday. We are cruising.
Yeah, I don't know why. Before we get into the actual race itself, a couple little things from before the race.
Yeah.
Cousin Carl was back.
I know.
Apparently,
I'm really sick of people asking him, "Oh, you going to come back? You interested in
that's what I'm
driving?"
going to get here. So apparently, all the podcasts seem to come out late today. I was like 40 minutes away.
I thought they all came in early.
I was like, maybe my phone was acting up because I kept checking all the whole way down here. and
I
there
think something
nothing.
was up because all the Dirty Mo stuff dropped at the exact same
And
time,
Stacking
and
Pennies.
Stacking Pennies and Harvick.
I got alerts,
All within 2 minutes of each other.
I got alerts for all three, for DBC, Actions Detrimental, and Stacking Pennies, all in the same moment. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Add Harvick to that on my phone,
Yeah.
and they all came in at the same time.
I was like 40 minutes from here, so I haven't listened to a ton of stuff. But apparently, Denny said this NASCAR on Reddit, that Twitter page that kind of posts what's going on, popular things. Apparently, Denny told Carl Edwards this weekend that a 2311 car is ready for him if he ever gets the itch. Carl's response was, he won't race in Cup until they put horsepower back.
Nice.
Carl's like,
I respect
I
that.
want to go fast. Dude, everybody has said that he's like, looks like he could jump in the car tomorrow, that he's jacked.
He hasn't aged.
Yeah.
He's gone back.
Did we get anything with him in the pre-race?
The no stress of NASCAR has de-aged him.
Did we get anything with him in the pre-race or no? Because all I
I
saw,
think so.
all I saw was when they tried to zoom in on him driving the pace car, and it could have been Norm driving the pace car.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even see him. You
I
know.
would have gone faster, dude. Cousin Carl's washed.
Yeah. So that was funny, and this is on a completely unrelated to this weekend thing. I don't know if either of you have seen on Twitter. Have you seen that they released the truck lineup for next week?
Yeah, there's a shit ton
No.
of people.
No. So it's not that. In the official lineup that Bob Pockris posted, Grant Enfinger is driving an Oldsmobile.
Okay.
They're like, everyone's posted all these pictures. Grant Enfinger just finally posted. He's like, well, at least I'm still in the General Motors camp, because he like replied to a tweet that was somebody posted like a picture of a Cutlass. And they're like, you're going to see Grant Enfinger out drafting with this thing on Saturday. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I found that funny, but it's just,
Hey, on the
how
bright
does,
side, he'll have 300 more horsepower than everybody else.
how does that happen? How do you screw up that bad?
How is that even a box you can click?
Yeah. All right. But that was just, both those I thought were funny.
I liked it. All right. The Hollywood Casino 400 presented by ESPN Bet Race.
They're going to sponsor the restart zone.
At the going in the fair this weekend, there's a guy who has a bunch of pins. He has like Disney pins, but if you go to the back, he has like just books full of like pins and stuff. And I found the like transportation one, cars, and
Yeah.
so I'm flipping through, and he had a couple NASCAR ones, and I was reminded how much easier life was back then.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had like an MBNA 400 from Dover. Like, that just was it's so much easier than these long, drawn out sponsor names. I almost bought you one, but I didn't, because I didn't feel like it.
Thanks.
You had to save his money,
Thanks.
dude, for double donuts.
I did. We actually ran out of cash, so it's a good thing I didn't buy it.
What was it?
It was a 21 Harvick Hershey's Kisses car.
Oh,
It was a little
cool.
pin like this big. It was just the
Oh,
side.
that was a cool car.
it was just the
I like
side
that one a
shot
lot,
of the.
yeah.
It was just the side shot of the car, and then like his signature.
like the Hershey Kiss with like the
Yeah.
like the blur behind it.
Yeah, he had a bunch of just odd stuff, but I was looking, he had a bunch of race pins, and I was like, man, life was so much easier when these races didn't have sentences for names.
Yeah, when you didn't have to
It's too much.
you do 4 sponsor plugs just to sponsor gosh darn race.
It's
Yeah.
like the Hollywood Casino 400.
Done.
Great. That's
Done.
fine. Presented by ESPN Bets. Like the Quaker State
400
400 available at
available at
Walmart this afternoon if you buy it on rollback.
Bring a coupon.
Yeah.
Bring back rollback, dude. That was my boy.
The Walmart rollback 3 hundo. Sold. Done.
The Quaker State 400. Done.
I understand, like,
The New Hampshire 301.
I
will
understand
say-
they're in bed together, but like, relax.
I will say the
that
ones
looks
we've-
like shit.
the ones we've been to this year haven't been too bad. Like that Pocono race just rolled off the tongue. The Great American Getaway 400.
That was amazing.
That was actually pretty.
But that's also their company name.
It's a mouthful, but it worked. It didn't feel like it.
Even the names that have been around forever. The Coke 600 is now the Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Black Energy 600. It's like
No, the Coke 600 is still the Coke 600. You're
It's-
thinking
no,
of
it's
the
zero sugar,
You're
isn't it?
thinking of Daytona. Daytona's the Coke Zero Sugar 400,
oh, okay.
which that used to just be the Pepsi 400.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of them, you're right. Even some of the other ones, like now the Southern 500 is like, I remember the first year it was like the Mountain Dew Southern 500, and everybody lost their minds. It was in like 2000, 2001, and it was just like the Mountain Dew Southern 500, and everyone was like, "What?" Be like the Daytona 500 being presented by DraftKings.
Well, they do that.
But if it was in the name. It
No,
was like
yeah, they won't
the
do that.
Daytona 500 presented by DraftKings, or the DraftKings Daytona 500. Dude,
Or just the DraftKings 500.
oh my God, it would.
It's like, get
the
that out of
sport
here.
would burn to the ground.
Yeah. No.
They do it with the Brickyard too. The Brickyard's got
Delana
sponsors.
500.
All right. Hollywood Casino 400 presented by ESPN Bet Race.
Yippee!
Wow. Good
wonder-
race overall, I think.
I want to know how popping that casino is like on Friday night
Banging.
Bro,
when all the drivers are there.
I've heard nothing but good things.
I've heard a lot of them. Like I know Boyer was in there all the time back then.
I bet Boyer
I'm
was
pretty
in
sure
there this
Boyer-
weekend.
He
Yeah.
probably still has a suite.
Apparently,
He probably hasn't left.
there's probably still a room with his name on it.
Yeah.
Because I know I know Corey was saying a lot of the teams went early because of the storm. He said they flew out like Thursday because they were worried about the storm. He said that his brother flew out with colleague on Friday in the storm. He was like, yeah, they had to pull the belt a little tight and just send it.
Jesus. No thanks.
No.
But yeah, Seabell continues his prowess of leading this field to green.
3 poles in a row at Kansas for him. And the lap he put down was fucking blistering.
Ty Gibbs alongside of him on the front row. We don't make it too far.
We make it 1 corner, 2 corners.
Do you think Jimmy could make it like
Dude.
a lap?
I just want Jimmy Johnson to like have a race. Like I just want him to go and start a race and run all the laps and not. I don't care where he finishes. He can finish dead last. But like, can he just? I don't think he's had a full next gen race. Coda last year, he got in a wreck on lap half.
1, yep.
Half. This race, he makes it 2 corners. He makes it like less than 10 laps
Did he
every
even
one of
make
his
the
starts.
Daytona 500?
And then he's just limping around for the rest of the day, 78 laps down.
That's Corey was saying that in his podcast. He was saying he talked to him after the race, and he's like, "Dude, I felt so bad every time we went by you because I'm like, I know he's not having
Why would
fun
you
in
continue
there.
to run?
I don't even. It's got to be for sponsors or something.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah, he's got sponsor obligations, I'm
But-
sure, but
you
Yeah,
are 2 seconds off the pace for the next 399 miles.
every single time he's in the
If
car.
you know that car is that damaged and you can barely make minimum speed, don't make minimum speed.
Oh, I'm yeah, exactly.
I am
Oops.
lifting. I am lifting at the start finish line. I'm like, damn, we are that slow. I guess we're done.
Got to back it off.
Like it's like, dude, it's just glutton for punishment. That man.
And this is when your intro comes into play.
Yeah. So
You
this
explain that,
wreck
I gotta
started
get the old
off,
hit.
This wreck started off turn 2. It's kind of just a free for all at the back of the pack.
Oh, it was a
and it's almost impossible to put blame on one single driver.
it was an absolute hornet's nest.
I
back
think
there.
it all started with Chase Elliott. Obviously, if you don't know, he had engine trouble in practice and qualifying.
He ran a qualifying lap that was like 2 seconds off the pace.
It was like blowing up in practice. They went over it. They couldn't find an immediate, easy fix
Mm-hmm.
for it. So they deemed this engine's toast. We need to replace the engine.
I
But
loved before we get away from that. I loved. Did you watch qualifying?
Yeah.
I loved how Letarte explained the tire thing.
Right, and that's
That-
what I
and
was
I
about
didn't
to
know that. That was really cool. So if Chase didn't make a qualifying lap, the tires that were on the car for qualifying were brand new. He would not be allowed to carry that set of tires into the race. So that's 1 less set of tires. But if he goes out and makes a qualifying lap, he can now carry those into the race as a set of scuffed
So
tires.
for the race, say, I'm just throwing a number out there, you get 10 sets of new tires.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowed to carry over 1 set of scuffs from either practice or
Yep.
qualifying.
I didn't know that.
Obviously, the tires in qualifying have at most 4 laps on them.
Yep.
Say you make the
make the
final
second
10.
round, yeah.
You put 4 laps on them. The practice tires have 20, 30 laps on them.
Mm-hmm.
So their plan was to just go out there and just complete a qualifying lap, whether it freaking grenaded the engine or not.
I was waiting for it. I was like, dude, that thing sounded sickly.
So they could consider those tires scuffed.
Yep.
And considering he drove around at half throttle.
Oh, no, he was full throttle.
Yeah, well, it felt like half throttle. It
Yeah.
was 2.5 seconds slower than the 44 car. Those scuffed tires are pretty much brand new.
Yeah.
They have half a heat cycle on them. So the whole intention of that was to just wear the tires a little bit so you can bring them to the race on Sunday. Obviously, he's in a Hendrick car. They are on freaking fire right now. So he has a top 10 car. He's starting in last place. They swap the engine. It's good to go. He immediately jumps high side 4 wide. And I think that's where this incident started. He was just uber aggressive on the start.
There was
And
a hole and
everyone-
he went for it.
Yeah, he was fine.
Yeah.
But the people below him reacted incorrectly for it.
I think everybody panicked and it
I
just
think
caused,
it started with the 21
Yes.
off turn 2 was fading up to the wall like he would expect to, being in the high lane that he thought he was in. And Chase Elliott comes buzzing by on the top. Well, the 21 now needs to stop. Can't go high anymore. Well, the 2 cars below him continue to come up. And they all kind of collect themselves. Ty Dillon, I mean, just proven that he's out there to get trophies. Stuffs the back end of his car. The 21 gets
Well,
involved.
Ty Dillon is the one that spun down in front of Jimmy, and Jimmy just pile drove into the back of him.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was 5 or 6 cars involved. I think Chase technically got touched.
He scraped the wall.
Yep.
Like,
So
I mean,
he was involved.
He breathed on the wall. Like, there was a scuff on the quarter panel, but I don't even think there was a mark on the wheel.
So the big drama with this, and probably the biggest talking point of the entire goddamn race,
Probably.
is Josh Berry in the 4 car. So the 16, 84, 21, whatever car kind of just came down the track and doored him and caused him to spin. He did not, he got a donut on the door.
Car looked fine.
It caused him to spin, and he blew all 4 tires because he's just locking it down, spinning in the infield. It's all pavement.
Yep.
He can't go. His car's stuck. Now, a couple weeks ago, they added an optional air shock to the rear of these cars that you could hit a button, you flip the switches, you get the bitches, and it jacks the back of the car. And theoretically, I don't think it's even been tested yet. I don't think we've
I haven't
seen
even
it in
really
action.
seen it in action.
Theoretically,
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
It lifts the rear of the car up off the ground. It pretty much replaces your shock with a freaking hydraulic
It gets
rod.
the car up off the rub blocks.
And it'll lift the car off the ground enough that, in theory, you can now drive it back to the pit box. And supposedly, there's a switch or lever or valve that you can open and drop the car back to normal. I don't know if it's a one-time use, whatever. A lot of teams, I'm going to guess, probably 70% of the teams don't have those installed. Because it is a optional thing that came out 3 races ago that I think 2 teams had installed at the time. And no one has installed those yet. So Josh Berry doesn't have that, so he's stuck on all 4 flat tires.
I also don't think it would have helped him in this situation. He had 4 flat tires.
His tires were also off the beads,
yeah.
which I don't know if he would have been able to drive anyway.
Yeah.
So they bring the hooker around, the tow truck, hook the front end up, lift the front end off the ground. A NASCAR official comes over, drops his window net. Hey, get out of the car.
Yeah.
What do you mean, get out of the car? I told me to pit road. I need to put new tires on this thing. I barely got touched. Nope, get out of the car. You're done. Josh is now talking to Rodney on the radio, who
Rodney's telling him to stay in the car.
is as cool and collected as you get. I mean, he's a super veteran
Yeah.
of the sport. He probably knows this rule book better than anybody. He's like, don't get out of the damn car. Come to pit road and put tires on this. Skip Flores said on Stacking Pennies that the 4 team was on pit wall holding tires,
Yep.
waiting. The NASCAR officials are telling him, hey, get out of the car. You're done. He goes, I'm not done. Pull me back to the pits. Put tires on this thing. We're good to go. So the NASCAR official walks away. The tow truck drops the front because they were going to, they had the back and the front
They had
picked up.
2 tow trucks going.
And they dropped the front. So he's like, okay, cool. And then they start dragging him down the straightaway. He's like, okay, cool. Tow truck then takes a hard left and drags him into the infield
Like he's in the campground.
for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know under any situation where you would do that. Like when we're camping at Pocono, do we expect steps towing to go by?
Nope.
No, they're going to drag you around the track and go into the garages.
I've seen
Or they're
them-
going to drag you around the track, go down pit road.
I've seen it happen before, like at Loudon. I've seen them cut through the infield instead of going all the way. But that's when like the car's totaled and it's going to the hauler.
Yeah, we're not going to drag oil over the track. or
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like we saw it during the truck, one of the races. I think it was the truck race. Maybe it was the cup race when it was raining. Oh, remember the water trucks were flooding out the track in the
Yes.
infield? But either way, they now tow him off the racetrack into the infield, literally into the campground.
Yeah, he said he was in the campground.
He's in between campers. There's a 10-minute video on Twitter. It's a very good watch. And they just drag him into the campground, drop his car on the ground. Fans are coming up to his window. Fans are all around his car, taking pictures, taking videos. Like, hey, like the driver's still in there. And Josh Berry's like, what are you doing? They're like, we're bringing the roll back. You can't get on that. You need to get out of the car right now. So it was just
I saw
completely
pictures of that
baffling.
car in the garage area afterwards
Barely had a
with 4 new
scratch on it.
tires on it. It looked brand new.
Barely
It
had a
had, you're
scratch
right.
on
It had like a donut on it.
Yep. So just completely baffling. The TV barely even covered it.
They didn't
'cause
say a
they
word
didn't even
about
know
it.
what was going
Yeah.
on. No one knew. The car all of a sudden just disappeared.
I didn't hear about it until later because I watched this race late. I went back and looked at Twitter and I was like, what is everyone talking about? And I was like, oh yeah, Barry never came back, did he?
Yep. So we've seen cars get towed back with the pits many times with 4 flat tires. I mean, Joey Logano.
Joey Logano at
last
Pocono is
year,
the one I think of.
That's the reason why those rear air shocks were created, because they destroyed his car towing it back to the pits.
Yep.
And this is the same conversation we had with about Ryan Blaney at Watkins Glen.
Yes.
Is for whatever reason, NASCAR deemed because he made contact with another car prior to blowing his tires that is damage sustained in the accident, and if he cannot drive under his own power, he's
I
done
think
for the
this
day.
is way more egregious than the Blaney at Watkins Glen one because Blaney's car was fucked.
Yeah.
Like, hands
Yeah,
down.
agreed.
Do I think his crew should have gotten a chance to determine for themselves if it's fucked? Yes.
Well, the rule is absolutely freaking crazy. Did you see the rules?
Kinda, yeah.
So later in the race, the 43 spins out, goes to the inside, gets stuck in the grass, has popped tires, but is also stuck in the grass. They drag him 10 feet out of the grass onto the straightaway, unhook the car, and go, okay, drive it. If you can drive it, you can continue to race. If you can't, we have to tell you you're done for the day. Like, why are we making these rules in the Cup Series?
It's so stupid.
These are like short track late model rules.
Yeah. I don't understand how he's not still in this race. Yeah, he's going to.
And I don't understand why this is just coming up now.
Like recently, I feel like this has been a talking point.
Right.
Because as like Norm just said, we saw this at Pocono last year. Logano had like 3 flat tires and they dragged his ass all the way around Pocono
Yeah.
and he was still in the race. Which, granted, yes, the underbody's fucked, the diffuser's fucked, but you're still in the race. Josh is now dead last for no reason
Yeah.
on a car that had flat tires.
Yeah, this team spent hundreds of thousands of dollars building this car. Spent probably another couple $100,000 getting their entire team,
Yep.
truck, spare car, hotels for everybody, not to mention private plane, getting everybody out there early. Just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sponsors spent millions of dollars
Yep.
to be on that car. And after half a lap, NASCAR, probably somebody sitting in frickin' North Carolina or Daytona went on TV, yeah, that car can't continue.
I don't understand it.
Like, why are we letting NASCAR make these decisions? We have crew chiefs that are making millions of dollars a year. We have mechanics that are making $100,000 a year. We have people that have been in this sport for 50 years working on these cars, and we're not allowing them to inspect them.
Well, and I'm with you. I've heard you say this a couple times, which we both share the same opinion about the DVP clock, that it's bullshit and it needs to go away.
It's not relevant anymore because we don't
Yes.
have cars being put back together with tape and zip ties.
These cars are Tinker Toys. It's a Connect toy. Like
Yeah,
you
literally
unbolt the
have a
part,
Lego.
you put the part on. It shouldn't be that no one's going out there anymore with, like Skip talked about it. There was a time when they were like welding a new piece of frame in. Yeah. Like that's not happening anymore. I hate the DVP clock, and I don't understand.
No, and 90% of the cars that get timed out in the DVP, I guarantee are safer than the car Brad Keselowski finished Watkins Glen with.
Probably.
Because guess what? Did you see the pictures?
Oh, I saw
that
it.
thing had a broken roll cage
I saw
after
it.
William Byron landed on his roof.
You saw that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that car was able to finish the race, but Josh Berry with 4 flat tires was deemed too unsafe to finish the race.
Yeah, I don't understand this rule, and
the
I'll never.
DVP is just, it's so outdated for these new cars.
Well, and not to mention that whatever this rule is about having to be towed back if you had contact, if you didn't, it's just another. It's another. What's the word I'm looking for? Not a gray area, but it's another judgment call in a sport that needs less judgment calls.
Yeah. And if you're worried about towing cars on a pit road and them being stuck on pit road dead, create a mechanic area. Like I said, after
A work
Watkins
area,
Glen.
yeah.
Put a designated spot that the team can go inspect the car, either fix it there or get it back or park it.
Yeah.
Or buy one of those freaking sick air ride trailers that lays flat on the ground, drag the car into that and drop it in a pit stall.
Yeah. I don't know.
These teams are spending millions of dollars to go to these racetracks, and NASCAR from the freaking blimp is determining if that car is safe to continue or not.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I hate it.
Like I said, I don't know why this is all
And they have
kind of
all
coming to a
these-
head now.
Yeah, they have all these like gray area rules that if
That's
you
the- yeah.
spin and you do this by yourself, you're fine.
You're fine. If Josh
we'll
Berry,
drag you wherever you want. If we want you to drag us to Las Vegas, gamble for an hour, we'll drag you back on
if
pit road and
Josh
put 4
Berry
tires
did
on.
exactly what he did on lap 50 and just spun out by himself and blew all 4 tires, they would have dragged his ass back to pit road and been like, "Yep, change tires." But because he got bumped by another car, barely has any damage, what are we doing here?
And then Eric Jones later in the race spins out, gets stuck in the grass. Instead of just freaking hooking the tow truck up and dragging him straight to his pit stall, they drag him backwards,
Make him-
unhook the car, and go, "All right, do it.
Feats of strength. Do it.
Now
Let's
drive
go.
around the entire track."
Let's see it.
Doing way more damage to your car than it would have if we just freaking towed it.
Dragged you through the grass. Yeah.
Like it's just dumb. Like they're making all these rules, and Bob has to now explain why these two situations are different, even though one was an innocent bystander, one wrecked himself, and this guy, he was able to drive away at 2 miles an hour, but this guy needed to get towed, and it's just asinine. You're wasting
too
these
much.
people's
I hate
money.
it.
And then we're wasting all this time. Everybody's wasting time talking about this when they should be talking about the race.
Yep.
But anyway, we'll keep going. We don't make it too much further when Kyle Larson blows a right rear, ends up in the wall, bringing out a caution at lap 20.
Like the broadcast said, very lucky that he was running the high lane, because if he's in the middle or the bottom and that thing blows, he's backing that thing in the fence and his day's over.
Did it really matter? His day was pretty much
His
over
day
anyway.
was pretty much over, but that give that team some credit. They battled like motherfuckers.
Can we talk about the fact that they were adding pieces onto the diffuser to lengthen it?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that too.
The rear diffuser obviously has the strakes,
Yeah.
like the 6
The vertical strakes.
vertical
Yep.
yeah.
blades. I guess some of them are removable
So
and
the
replaceable.
two outer ones are part of the diffuser, and then the two inner ones on each side are apparently just bolt-on.
So they were able to unbolt those and bolt new ones on, but the outside one, I'm assuming the right rear, was worn down. They said they were adding material to it, like
Probably
almost like tape.
Probably just put tape on it.
Which, how is that legal?
I mean, there was a NASCAR official in that wheel well with them.
Yeah.
I saw that on one of the pit
But
stops.
did
He
they
was,
laser scan it after?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Because
obviously it
you
didn't
add
help.
tape to it, all of a sudden it's like the freaking Chase Elliott spoiler debacle all over again. All right, it's now it's now 2 inches longer than it used
Yeah.
to be.
It obviously didn't help him, but
Yeah.
I will give that team credit because, I mean, yes, he had a wounded car, which, again, another problem with this car is that car looked perfectly fine, but because you wore an eighth of an inch off of a little flappy flap on the bottom of the car, now it's useless.
Yeah, that top 5 car can barely get a top
can
30.
barely get a top 30. Like, this car's too over-engineered sometimes. It bothers me. But kudos to that team. What did they say? I think everyone was to make in their like third pit stops, and
made
they were on their
10.
like 12th one. Like, just every caution, they're coming in multiple times.
Poor Cliff,
And they weren't
dude.
that far back, which is impressive.
He said, I think I was listening, they said on the teardown that when the field got strung out, he was okay. But on restarts, he couldn't do anything because the air was so fucked around the car that the car was just awful. But as soon as everyone got kind of strung out, like he could maintain, he could kind of
Well,
stay
he was
where
saying
he was.
at one point that he had just no straightaway speed.
He had no straightaway speed.
Which, what part of that was damaged
think
that ruined straightaway speed?
what I
Just
would-
the speed off the corner?
I think it's speed off the corner because Reddick was dealing with that early in the race too. He was so loose, and the team was like, "You're losing so much time on the straightaways because you're not carrying speed off the corner." And Reddick was like, "If I get in the gas any sooner, I'm wrecking."
Yeah.
So I bet you the car was probably loose getting off the corner, which he loses 5, 6, 7, 8 miles an hour down the straightaway, which is at a track like Kansas is huge.
Yeah.
Way
Way off the pace.
But kudos to them. They said he ran over something. I've heard a couple people speculating that maybe they were flirting with tire pressure a little bit.
Corey LaJoy
Corey
was quick to say that they were probably just pushing it. I don't, considering he was the only car to have this issue, I'm going to guess he ran something
I'm
over.
thinking he ran something over. Yeah.
It was lap 23. There was already a big wreck on the back stretch. I mean, that's a good chance he ran something over.
Yeah.
And we saw shit flying up the entire race. It was almost looked like that Fontana race a couple years ago.
Yes.
Like there was debris everywhere
There was a slow-mo shot, the one that they had to use like 6 times yesterday.
for Justin Haley.
Looking off the exit of 2, looking at the back of the cars, and every time they used it, there was just shit everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. But ultimately, we get to the end of the first stage with William Byron taking the first stage. He finally shows up. We haven't seen him
Well,
since
he showed-
Kansas Spring.
He showed up, but this is part 1 of a short story of Christopher Bell stepping on his dick.
Yeah.
So he dominates the first stage. He was out 2-3 seconds. Byron's running him down. I think one of the pit stops, they ended up taking 2 tires. And Bell, I don't know if he heard footsteps behind him, knew that Byron was getting closer. He just oversteps into the corner, gets loose, washes up the track, smacks the wall. Byron goes by him. Bell finished, what?
Fifth.
5th in that stage. So that's chapter 1 of this short story.
Yeah.
We will get
So
to chapter 2.
Byron, Logano, Blaney, Hamlin, Bell, your top 5. Ty Gibbs, Austin Cindric, Martin Truex Jr., Alex Bowman, and Carson Hocevar, your points getters in the first stage. Bowman just keeping this consistency rolling.
Points in every single stage.
stage.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either until they said it yesterday. I was like, what?
It cost him at Watkins Glen, but I didn't know that was a stat he was going after.
Yeah.
Yeah, second stage, a little bit to talk about. We talk about Denny Hamlin on his pit road boats and
Yeah,
woes, as they say on Stacking Pennies.
He had just, I mean, that team. So last year he had all those problems on pit road. It was every week. It was like, how's Denny's crew going to fuck him this week? This year they've been unbelievable. They've been one of the
Until
best.
now.
They've been one of the best pit crews on pit road. One of the pit stops, I think, in the beginning of the second stage, they didn't get the wheel on all the way. They had to jack the car back up. They did the smart thing by jacking the car back up, making sure the was the right rear was on tight. And then the next pit stop, they come down, and then he ends up having to make another pit stop because the left rear wasn't tight.
Norm, check the chat too. Keep going.
Yeah. So he had 2 loose rear wheels in one stage. And then he had a couple rough pit stops too, where it's like he was up there. I mean, he had probably a race-winning car, if not a top 5
I think
car.
he was one of the fastest cars out there.
Yeah, but every pit stop, he was all of a sudden finding himself going from 3rd, 4th, or 5th to 15th, 16th, 12th. You know,
Yeah.
he
They were losing like 10 spots per stop.
Yeah.
It was brutal. And he was pissed. All his interviews after they got out of the car at the end of the race sounded like, someone murdered his dog and he
Yeah,
finished
but then
dead last. He was
wasn't
pissed.
helping a situation where he's like, "Oh, my head isn't in the game, and I'm not focused." And
Well,
this
did you
and
hear
that.
Gabehart yelling at him? Denny's all flipping out. I think it was the second bad pit stop. He's all like, "Oh, track position. I can't keep losing track position." And Gabehart was like, "Yeah, it happened. Deal with it. Concentrate on getting it back."
Yeah.
Like Gabehart is not a spicy guy on the radio, and to hear him kind of be like, "Hey, shut the fuck
just
up,"
kick into his
Yeah.
dad
like
voice?
that's literally what it sounded like. Like, shut the fuck up. You can't change it. Concentrate on fixing it.
They say common for drivers to be head cases, and it's like, quit looking behind you, start looking in front of you. Like
Yeah.
this is Ryan Blaney 101.
Yes.
Like Ryan Blaney spirals constantly,
Yep.
and that's something that they always talk about. He's fiery. He has a short fuse in the cockpit when he's racing. Like last year at Phoenix,
Yep.
he's fighting with Ross Chastain. It's like, dude, you're currently winning the championship.
Yeah. You don't need to win the
Quit
race.
freaking out about this guy beating you. You don't need to beat him.
Yep.
You just need to beat the other three behind you, and you're doing that. And that's kind of what they were dealing with Hamlin. And Hamlin, I mean, we know 2311 right now. They are struggling with the contracts with the charter deal right now.
He's got a lot on his plate.
They supposedly have 2 drivers coming to the Cup Series soon. So they have a lot going on at 2311, not to mention, oh, by the way, you almost got eliminated the last round.
Yeah.
So Denny has a lot going on, but Denny normally, I mean, historically, he's been able to tune that out and just go dig.
Yep.
And that's why he's been one of the most consistent guys in the last 20 years. And he's not focusing right now. And he's spiraling about things that he doesn't need to spiral about. And it's probably what's going to lose him the championship again.
Yep.
Like, you just need to buckle down. Dude, you're one of the greatest to ever touch a race car. Like, just remember that and don't worry about your pit crew. Like, oh, yeah, your pit crew just lost you 5 spots. But guess what? You have 65 Cup wins.
Yep. And
Go
you have
do it
one of the
again.
fastest car in the field.
Did you have perfect pit stops every time you've won a race? No.
Yep.
Go prove us that you're the reason why it's okay for us to make mistakes because you'll make it back.
Yep.
For sure. I'm getting hollered at about tie widths.
I was gonna say you seem very distracted right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, they also came back for tightening a wheel too. Forgot about that one.
No, I said it.
Yep. Oh, gotcha. All right. What else we got there? Oh, we got the Justin Haley incident coming up after that.
Make a left-
49, 150.
Yeah,
Make a left turn now.
That
turn
was
now.
one of the biggest head scratchers of the entire race.
I
'Cause, like,
loved
for
that the
30 minutes, we don't know what happened.
I loved that the broadcast was befuddled. They're like, there's no one behind him. He had to have had a mechanical issue. Like what? They had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
and
did
then
he get doored? Did he blow a tire? Did something break?
every replay they're like, nope, he didn't get touched. Okay,
no,
nope,
his
nothing.
spotter just said something weird and Justin reacted.
Yeah, so obviously with the Justin Haley, Corey LaJoy seat swap we talked about last week, the spotters did not swap. So Brandon McReynolds stayed on the 7, who has been Corey's spotter.
No, Stephen Parsons.
Or Stephen Parsons. Why did I say Brandon McReynolds?
That's Ross's spotter.
Why did I say that? I'm thinking
That's a winning spotter.
They're homies.
maybe I'm thinking of older people in
Phil
NASCAR's
Parsons
kids.
and Larry Mack.
Yeah, that's
I think
that tracks.
I think I just defaulted to older NASCAR guys as kids that are now spotters.
Yep.
So Myatt Snyder, go on.
Yeah. So Dale Jr. Yeah. Stephen Parsons stayed with the 7, and I don't know Corey Spotter, but he was Haley Spotter. He stayed
His
with the
name
51.
is Crazy.
Yeah, I think his nickname's Crazy, and Corey's like, he's actually really calm on the radio, so I
He's
don't know
like
why
a
he's
super veteran spotter. I don't know who this is. Supposedly he's spotted for like Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson.
Okay.
He's spotted for a bunch of
So
goats.
new spotters, and obviously we talked about it last week where, both these guys are getting into new situations, new cars, new teams. They're trying to figure out where the bathroom is in the shop.
Right,
this
not
week.
to mention new manufacturer, so
Yeah.
completely different process for
Yeah.
getting ready for the race, all that.
So this is their first race together, and I guess Stephen
Stephen.
Parsons has a hit. The way he says your 3 wide middle is in and out. I've heard that before, but it does seem like a weird
Yeah,
lingo.
It just makes you hungry. Go
just
on.
say 3 wide middle, So he said in and out, and I guess Haley said he just didn't understand what he said or he misinterpreted it. And apparently in and out means I make left turn now.
Yeah, I understand the confusion of in and out. It's like, what does that mean? But that doesn't mean turn left now.
Yeah, he saw because he had a run on the cars.
There's one inside and one outside,
wonder-
in and out.
I wonder if to him that meant like there was a car trying to force steer outside, so he was turning left to give him room.
I
Was
think
what I was wondering if maybe.
I mean,
that was a
I just think
possibility.
he didn't understand that there was a car inside of him, and he had a run coming off the corner on the car in front of him. So I think he was trying to swing it down
Right.
low to make the run, and he didn't know that John Hunter was literally at his door.
So it was John Hunter's fault.
For once, no.
Should have been there.
For once, no. I mean, he freaking came across John Hunter's nose so hard that John Hunter's car was in the air.
Yeah,
That car popped a wheelie.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
one of the weirdest looking incidents we've seen in a long time.
It was just very strange, and it took damn near 2 commercial breaks for us to figure out what the hell happened.
It's funny because watching the truck race took a hard right out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
I'm watching that like trying to figure out what the hell happened, and I see this happen. I'm like, what's with the random turns like in the pack going straight down the backstretch of Kansas? One turns
And
hard right, one turns hard left.
And it wasn't the last time we saw this.
Yeah, and Haley was
Fair.
Haley was having a really good day. He was top 15.
Yeah, I think they just got shuffled because of pit strategy.
Yeah.
I think they kind of swapped their pit strategy at the end, so that's why he was in the back.
But at the point of that, when he had that spin, I mean, he was running like 13th, 14th, somewhere in that ballpark.
Not
like,
at the
like
time.
Around there, though.
Yeah.
He was, and then they pit. I think he was in like the high
Yep.
20s when he spun.
Yep. So, I mean, not to say that made me happy, but
It made me happy.
it made me a little happy.
Yeah.
I did appreciate, though, how all of the maybe it's the car jokes started.
Yeah. Yeah. The curse.
I saw
Car's cursed.
that Simpsons Photoshop.
Oh
Of
my
Marge.
God.
So there's an episode where Marge walks out and yells at Bart, and then Bart's standing next to her. And she goes, "Sorry, I'm used to yelling at you." Someone photoshopped Corey's face, and so it's Marge. And, Corey! And he's standing. He's like, "What?" "Oh, sorry, I'm used to it being you."
Yeah.
Did you hear Skip say that all his crew guys were like, when the car spun, they're like, "Oh no, Corey!" And he's like, "Son of a bitch!" You're like, "Oh no, never mind. He's not in that one anymore."
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a Haley fan for
Yeah.
years.
I
I've
like
always
Justin
liked
Haley.
Justin Haley, but unfortunately,
I don't.
I just can't root for Spire anymore.
I can't. I'm rooting
Like
for.
the only thing I liked about Spire was the underdog story. They gave Corey a chance. He's building the team from the ground up, and they ship him. I've never really liked Hocevar. McDowell's getting it next year. I don't really care for McDowell. He's kind of one of those guys. He was like Almirola for me for
I
a
like
long time.
McDowell, but-
it was just like, yeah, cool, he's here. But it's just like the team, just like I don't like the.
Until like 2 years ago, I agree with you on the McDowell thing.
Yeah,
I like him.
I
He's such
kind
a-
of agree with
he's
you.
such a good dude.
Yeah,
but
that's
just
what I
when he's on the
appreciate about
racetrack,
some.
I just have no feelings
Yeah.
towards him.
Yeah.
But apparently there is no like bad blood or anything. I'm in that Corey like fan group on Facebook, and that's been obviously blowing up for like 2 weeks now about
Yeah,
everything.
of course.
There's no bad blood except for Corey's brother.
Yeah.
Corey's brother, as soon as Haley spun out, just LOL on Twitter. I was
Yeah.
like, holding grudges, dude.
So Leanne, his PR lady, got on that group today because people have been posting stuff like, "Oh, I guess it wasn't the car. Oh, did anyone else feel good when that happened?" And then somebody posted, they were like, I don't think there's any bad blood. Like apparently Corey went by the 7 pit yesterday when they did the pit road speed and like held, gave him the fucking thumbs up out the window and they all waved back. And she was like, "Yeah, there's nothing. Like it's just fans are pissed. Like she's like, we're fine with them. Again, that could be her doing PR because that's her job, but."
That is her job.
I'm
There
sure
was-
Corey's
I-
not too thrilled.
I
but
think there was a lot of
Yeah, the
allowances.
PR lady said everything's fine, so we should believe it.
you done?
No,
I think
Back
there
to
was.
Do you have to worry about like cuff length or something? Or
probably. That's probably next.
Yep.
I think there was a lot of
Give you some
allowances
length.
from both teams
No,
to
you
allow
won't.
this to be as
I
smooth
said
as
cuff
it is.
length.
Oh, got it.
You guys making pee jokes?
Yes.
Yeah, small ones.
Little ones.
Corey.
Just small jokes.
Small jokes. Or
Corey made one on stacking
I
pennies,
fucking heard that.
and I was like, "Yo!" And then I remembered he's the same age as us, pretty much, and I was like,
yeah, he made a length
But still.
joke, and then this is the second weekend. Dude, did you get to the part in that? Not to go
"Oh,
completely
I
off
finished
track.
it." So yeah,
The part where they're in pit road boats and woes, and apparently last week I heard this. Skip said something to, like cock, like, "Oh, you got to cock the gun" or something. I don't
he
remember
like
what it was.
it's when a lug nut fell out or something. He goes, he had to drop it between his legs and give it a little cock,
That's what it was. Yeah.
like to flip the gun or something like that.
So then this
And
week-
Corey, this week they're like,
He said dong. He said sometimes if you don't get the wheel on straight, it'll hit those
Pins.
the pins and it'll give it like a dong. And apparently Corey was like, our camera guys are all children and they can't stop laughing. So then no more than 10 seconds later, they're talking about the Blaney loose wheel thing. And he goes, yeah, he's been having a lot of trouble. He's like, oh, I forget his name. He's like, yeah, he's been having a lot of trouble with his nuts lately. And he goes, you can hear the camera guys giggling.
He
and
lost
Corey's
two
like,
nuts during the race.
He lost 2 nuts during the race.
But even before that, they were like talking to Corey pre-race, and they're like, "Hey, remember, like, don't have a dick measuring contest. Like, pretty much like, don't go out there just to
that's
prove
what
the
it was.
7 guys wrong. Like, don't go out there thinking that that's the only other car on the racetrack. Just go race your own race." And Corey's like, "Yeah, I'd probably lose that too."
yeah.
And like they're like, "I'm a grower, not a shower." And like you guys are. This is a NASCAR official podcast. You guys need to calm
If
down.
we say that, like, we're alive, we can say whatever
fine.
we want.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, but we get to the end of the second stage. Mr. Alex Bowman taking the second stage for his first stage victory of the year. Fun fact.
Chapter 2 of the Christopher Bell stepping on his dick.
Yeah.
He dominated the stage. He led like 140 laps in this race. He had the fastest car up until this point, where once again, they put him out there on 2 tires. He's driving away. The field starts catching him, overcooks it into the corner. He actually hit the wall pretty hard that second time.
This was a little different. I
trying to
think this
remember.
was on a restart. There was a short, like 4-lap run to the finish of the stage.
No.
And Bowman got in
Nope.
front of him, and Bell hit the wall behind Bowman. Pull the replay up.
Well, actually, you might be right.
Pull the replay up. He was behind Bowman. He got arrow.
That's
Because
right, 'cause-
Bowman like swiped up from the bottom to get to the top, and it took all the arrow off of Seabell's
Yeah.
front
So
end.
Seabell hits the wall again, and this time doesn't even get stage points, right? He
drops down to
plummeted.
like 15th.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
plummeted.
No,
and then
didn't
he
get
was,
anything.
And then he was a non-factor, so it sucks. I mean, you want to talk about missed opportunities. I think that's one of the biggest ones because he should have won this race going
Yeah,
away.
you led 120 laps early, and you got 5 stage points.
Yeah,
Like,
And
that's a big
insane.
hit.
Yeah. Bowman gets the checkered, green and white checkered, followed by Ty Gibbs, Ryan Blaney, Byron Kozlowski, Hocevar, Busch, Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, and Chase Briscoe.
We had some stage flipping because there was, I think was that Haley caution towards the end? There was a caution.
I think it was it Cindrix at the end of stage 2?
What?
There was a late caution at the end of stage 2 that laid a bunch of people came down pit road, and that's when Bowman stayed out to win this. Like the top 10 stayed out. For
Oh,
stage
the
points.
Cindric Busch incident? That was like 10 laps before. So that was a short run. I think
so
a
that was-
7-lap
we
run,
skipped
something like
out-
that.
So we skipped out on the Cindric Busch incident. That was just
Yeah.
nothing. It was,
So that was another weird turn on a straightaway where Cindric kind of just
they barely.
swiped up to side draft him, doored Busch,
Busch.
which we got that replay like 5 hours later,
Yeah.
and spun to the inside, hit the wall, ended up destroying his splitter, which sucked for Cindric because he was another one like Bowman, where he was just did everything right in the first round of the
Yep.
playoffs. Penske was super fast at Kansas.
There was a point where all 3 of them were in like the top
5, I
6,
think,
7,
yeah.
8, something like that.
They were all super fast, and Cindric just misjudged a
Yep.
side draft going down the backstretch and spun to the inside wall and destroyed his car.
So now we got all sorts of varying pit strategies, which I thought was awesome at the start of stage 3, watching Byron, Bowman, and Hamlin just roll through the field.
yeah.
'Cause they started. Wait, would you stop talking about ties?
Shut up.
Unless we're talking about the last race here at Kansas, where it was almost a tie.
Hey,
It was a .001
See, look at that.
finish.
There's a good tie in there.
Nice.
I don't like when you're not present. You're not present.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's annoying.
How do you think I feel when you both live on your phones?
I haven't even looked at my phone once, dude.
We don't do the old way of you just rattling off lap by lap anymore. So now it's nice. We're all involved.
Yeah. All right. So now we get to the Briscoe Busch incident.
Team Briscoe.
Yeah.
I am 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a team to be on. I think
He left
both
him-
cars are at blame.
He left him. No, I wouldn't say plenty of room. He left him room. I said this to Kyle before we started, before you got here. If Briscoe stuffed him in the fence, whole different story. He left him enough room. Was it a lot of room? No. Was it enough
Yeah.
room? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Kyle have to send it in there?
No.
If Kyle shows a little bit more patience, this doesn't happen. If Briscoe's fighting for his life. He's having a miserable day, running around in the 30s as a playoff driver. He's trying to stay on the lead lap. He's fighting for everything he has. I fully expect him. If he was my driver, if I was an owner and he was my driver, that's what I want him to do. I don't want him to just lay over and die.
Yeah.
And Kyle, I think, just got impatient. He's got Ross behind him. There was still like 20-something laps to go, 25 laps to go,
Yeah.
something like that.
30.
Well, okay, I think it was somewhere there.
Yeah.
He's got Ross behind him, but if he just backs off there and like lives to fight another day, even if Ross gets by him, I still think Kyle was faster than him.
It's hard to say.
It's hard,
They were
but-
pretty even. So
I mean, they went back and forth a couple times.
Yeah,
it would have been a battle no matter
would've been a
what.
battle.
I understand why Kyle was impatient and wanted to keep Ross behind him. 'Cause
I get
if
it.
he gets by, you have no idea. The one thing I will put blame on Briscoe for is, yes, you're fighting for your life here, but is going a lap down when there's not a car for an entire straightaway that big of a deal this late in the race? Probably not. But the one thing that I don't like that Briscoe did was there's always a rule for lap cars. I understand he's getting lapped. He's not technically a lap car yet, but it's pick a line and hold it.
Yeah, he started.
My one problem with what Briscoe did was he picked in between two lines.
He was middle.
No one has run in that groove all race. So what he did was he kind of blocked two different lanes for Kyle Busch. And Kyle Busch is like, screw it. Like, I'm just going to ride in the fence
gonna
like
rip
I
the
normally
top.
would.
Yeah.
And Briscoe is, I mean, if Kyle was next to him, they were wrecking.
Yeah.
There, you can say there was a lane for him there, but Kyle would have had to have either been hitting Briscoe or hitting the fence to make it work.
Yeah.
There's no way, even going like 60 miles an hour, you could have fit a car between those two. I get there was room, but at speed, there's no room. I don't see that working. So Briscoe, go for it. Do what you need to do, but pick a lane. If you want to block the leader, go to the top like you normally would and be there. That way Kyle Busch has options. He put Kyle Busch in a no-win scenario. Kyle Busch can't turn now down two lanes to pass him on the exit. And now he's stuck and he has to try to go to the outside. That's the only thing that bugged me about it. Is I get it. It worked out perfectly for Chase Briscoe.
Yeah.
He didn't get lapped. The leader spun out behind him.
Yeah, he's also a playoff driver.
Yeah, but
I
you're
just think
running in a
Kyle-
spot where you know you're going
The
to
thing
take the
is
air
I
off
don't
him
think
and you
Kyle.
won't give enough room.
You say Kyle was forced to go to the outside. No, he wasn't. He could have shown some more patience and just tucked in behind him, got him on the next corner. He tried to force it to the outside, lost all the air off his nose and got loose and smacked the wall, and then did a tank slapper down the backstretch.
I don't think Kyle was in a win situation there. If he checks,
Oh, it's
up,
not. None of it is ideal for
Yeah,
Kyle.
if he
Trust
checks
me.
up and gets behind the 14, he's now slowing down 10 miles an hour because he was cruising, catching the 14. Guess what? Ross is now 10 miles an hour faster. He passed him going down the backstretch. And now Kyle Busch no longer has a run on the 14 entering 3. So now he's still stuck behind the 14. So I understand the impatience.
Oh, I didn't say I don't understand it. I just
Yeah.
think he should
30
have.
laps to go. You're leading the race. You've been battling the guy in second place. And now a lap car in 29th, 30th place is blocking you.
Yeah.
Seemingly leaves you a lane, but he Russ Wheelers you. Like, I know the rookie's going to go to the outside, and I'm
Yeah.
going to give him just enough room to hang himself.
No, I get it. I just think Kyle
So
needs
I
to show a little
understand.
more. As the veteran, he needs to show a little more patience there.
100%. Yeah.
And I think Briscoe's. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a racing deal, but I can see fault on both of them.
Right, but I could also see that going badly for Briscoe.
Oh, 100%.
And I don't know if the risk was worth it because there was no one near you to risk losing a position to.
Yeah. If Kyle gets a nose to his outside, Briscoe's getting right hooked into the fence.
Yeah.
So it is a risk, but it's what you got to do when you're when you're fighting for your life on playoffs. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't think Kyle is mad about it
He didn't
either.
seem-
Like, based on the interviews that I heard after the fact, yeah, he's bummed and stuff like that, but it's not like he squeezed me into the fence. He didn't squeeze you into the fence. He gave you a car and a centimeter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was there.
Yeah, I think
He screwed up.
Kyle Busch's opinion getting out of the car, he said he's numb because he's sitting there running it back and back and back in his head going, what could I have done differently?
Yeah.
Well, you also look at he forced the issue at Indy and then wrecked.
Yeah.
He forced the issue here, wrecked. It's on him.
Yeah.
You know, Briscoe's running his line. As the leader, you're trying to get around somebody, it's your responsibility to get around them safely. Right?
Yep.
So you had a lane. Was it a lot of real estate with that lane? No. Could have you been a little bit more courteous per se to the leader? Sure. Did he have any reason to be courteous to the leader as a playoff driver when the leader's not a playoff driver? No. So, yeah, I mean, payback's coming. It shouldn't.
No.
It shouldn't.
Yeah, I just
So,
think Briscoe put him in a no-win situation.
yeah, I mean, he didn't give him a gift, but he also didn't squeeze him into the fence either. So, is what it is.
But he entered like he was going to go low and then just hung out in the perfect spot to fuck Kyle Busch. So I understand why Kyle Busch went high in the first place.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's what you have to do
Yeah.
with this car. You can't be like,
Right. Well, look at C. Bell. C. Bell got into the wall at the end of stage 2. Well, Bowman was in the exact same position Briscoe was
Yep.
to Busch.
Yep.
So these guys know where to put the cars to fuck the guy behind them.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not a ton of talking points, I guess, for the duration of the race. We have watching Willie B try to reel in Ross
They
Chastain
were
with no
just
luck.
so equal.
The final restart was pretty interesting.
Yep.
I don't remember when the Brad one was.
That was two, but I think that was
Yeah.
the Kyle Busch
That was right
restart.
before the Kyle Busch restart.
That was
Brad
the
The last one was the Carson Hocevar spin
Yeah,
after he got
so-
into it with,
so
I think it was Gilliland.
the restart with
Yeah, so
Brad.
that's the one where Bowman almost got
Yeah,
fucked
the
by
restart
Byron.
with Brad was where that was after the Kyle Busch spin. That was where Reddick got fucked because something happened to Brad. He got doored or something. He had to check up.
Yeah, so Brad stayed out on old tires, and Bowman was right behind him, and Bowman immediately went low, entering turn one, because Brad's a moving roadblock,
Yeah, yeah.
and Brad kind of got shipped into the middle and just
and
threw out a
Reddick and
parachute.
literally Reddick got stuck, kind of like drafty car. Like Reddick got stuck behind him, and everybody just went by both of them.
Yeah.
And then then we had the Hocevar spin.
which I don't even really remember what happened there.
I think I don't
He
even.
got into it with Gilliland.
Yes, Gilliland shipped him. I think it was another one of those. He was already losing it, and then Gilliland was like,
Finished him off.
"I'm here."
Yeah.
yeah, they definitely don't have a history, so
No.
Not at all. And then that last restart was where Bowman, I mean, he shipped it 3 wide middle and just lost the nose and went up. He was lucky to only go back to like 5th or 6th, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. But the watermelon man himself takes the checkered flag, playing spoiler at Kansas.
I mean, that final run, yes, there were moments of excitement, but those two were just so evenly matched.
Yeah.
Ross got out to like a half a second lead. I think Byron got it down to like 0.2 at one point.
2.5 maybe.
But it was just an accordion effect. One of them would have a good corner, one of them have a bad corner. They were within that like 0.2 to 0.7 for the last like 20 laps.
yeah.
So it was interesting, kind of, but it wasn't like
He just needed a little bit more.
yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah,
but congrats to him. First win of the season, starting 20th, bringing it home first. Good run for Mr. Ross Chastain. Much needed, I'm sure. Bringing the Kubota team to victory lane, doing burnout on the old Kubota logo, which was cool. Followed by William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney, Ty Gibbs, Alex Bowman, C. Bell, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, and Zane Smith. Your points getters, your top 10. So, taking a look at the playoffs as they stand. Obviously, William Byron taking over the points lead after a great day. Now, 34 points to the good. Blaney and Bell tied 28 points to the good. Larson drops down to 4th place, still 18 points to the good.
He's
Used
lucky.
up his mulligan.
yeah.
Still
There
in
were
decent.
times where he was like 5 points to the good.
Yeah. Denny Hamlin moves up to 5th place, 11 points up. Bowman now above the cut line, 8 points to the good after yet another consistent run. Mr. Chase Elliott, 4 points up, and Logano, the last one in as they stand 4 points up. Looking below the cut line, Reddick, 4 points down after not showing up.
Tell me about it.
Suarez, 14 out. Briscoe, 25 out. And Austin Cindric, 29 out. Thoughts?
This shows you how important the regular season is with how Bowman's been in the playoffs, and he's still only 6 points above the cut line because he doesn't have the regular season to where William Byron has done kind of nothing.
Well, in the round of
since-
8, he'll be 7 points above the cutoff line. At that playoff point.
like
Yeah, got his first playoff point.
yep.
Well, outside of the win.
Yeah, Byron.
The first stage point.
You look at Byron; he's been non-existent since like May,
Yeah.
and has enough
I think
points.
this is his first top 5 since the last Kansas, right?
Kansas, yeah. They
Yeah.
said somewhere said that today. I saw.
Brutal.
Yeah. So,
But hey,
he's-
it did, just like Norm said, it shows the importance of the regular season.
yep. I said that, but that's cool.
Oh, sorry, you said that.
Yep. Aside from that, I mean, it's kind of shuffling out to the people we thought might be out
Yeah, like
are
the
in the
bottom
out.
3, I think the bottom 4 would be expected going off the regular season to be Bowman, Suarez, Briscoe, and Cindric.
Yep.
Those are your expected. The way Bowman's been running, he's seemingly going to upset the round of 8. That's how he's been running all playoffs. So you're seemingly going to have a guy below that cutoff line that really you wouldn't expect. So there's going to be like
What scares me though is if there's a wreck-it day gun Bowman's in it. I mean,
right, and he could get knocked out.
Yeah.
And,
But he's very good at the Roval.
he is.
He's never finished outside the top 10 of the Roval.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So either way, he's still. I mean, he's been.
Yeah, I heard that stat too.
He's
You're
been
right.
a 10th place car all season, like an 8th to 10th place car, and he could seemingly finish the points in 8th to 10th place.
Yep.
which is expected. But the way he's been running, the way HMS has been running, there's going to be somebody below that cut line at the end of the Roval that you wouldn't expect. There's going to be a big name get knocked out if Bowman can continue his run.
I agree with that.
The one to look at, I think, below the cut line is Reddick. Obviously, but everyone talks about how good they are at road courses, but look at Watkins Glen. They were hot fucking garbage.
Well,
That
this
team,
was their,
like, it's-
this is their best track
Right.
in both 2311
It
cars. with
feels
mid-20s.
like we've seen it every year of the playoffs, but it feels like the 45 peaked too soon. Remember Michigan? I mean, remember that stretch like right after the Olympic break where he looked
They were on
unbeatable?
fire.
Hey, one regular
Now I'm
season
very
champ
concerned.
to the other. Hey, I get it, dude. Playoff slumps happen.
It's Norm Reddick over here.
Yeah.
Tyler Pelletier.
Yo, Short King.
I think he's actually shorter.
Yeah, I mean the
way
one
shorter than
the
me.
one above the cut line that I'm kind of most worried about, not saying like I'm concerned about their existence, but the one I would worry that's going to drop below it is Logano.
Yeah,
Because
I have way more worry about Kyle frickin' Larson.
that too, because we're going to Talladega,
Talladega.
where he is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He has been running better at them, but he's still not finishing where he needs
but
to.
Logano could just pop off a win this weekend. I hope he does
Or-
for my picks, but
Or he could pop off a 30-second.
right. But they have been mediocre at best outside of super speedways,
Yeah.
which is bizarre to say about Joey Logano.
Even yesterday, the start of the race, he looked really strong, and I don't know what happened. He just disappeared.
I don't
The
get it.
three Penske cars, I think their saving grace at Talladega is they all seem to wreck
Is
each
that we
other
picked
at the
them all?
end, but they will all likely get stage points throughout the race. They're
Probably.
all very good at running up front, very
Yeah.
good at getting stage points. Unfortunately, they all block like a Mack truck at the end of the race and they'll all wreck each other.
Probably.
But
As long as Michael McDowell's not out front this
like
time.
Cindric needs to have three perfect stages.
Yeah.
He needs to be damn near top 5 in every stage.
Yep.
He's capable of doing that. He's a very good plate racer. He's in probably the best car for that track. But can he do it? Who knows?
Yeah.
Briscoe, I mean, I don't know if he's an outstanding plate racer. He's gonna.
He's pretty good.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a
pretty
good
good.
road racer, but everybody is now. So at the Roval,
And
he's not a
to
guarantee.
me, I also don't look. I mean, I do kind of, but the Roval is that road course where I almost feel like you can throw road course skills out the window because it is such a chaotic. It's
Yeah.
not like a Sonoma or a Watkins Glen or a Coda where like your flow really matters, and the road racers, the guys that have a lot of
Well,
experience.
especially with this new layout where they're pretty much
Yeah.
adding stopping zones to half the
Yeah,
track.
where you're, a lot of the road courses, the road racers shine because you get into a rhythm, you get into a flow. Not saying it doesn't happen at the Roval, but it's such a hodgepodge, weird track that I feel like you don't have to be a good road racer to be good, or if you're a good road racer, you might not be good there
Right.
because it's very weird.
Yeah,
You
good
know.
point. Good point.
Hell,
Cool.
we saw, what was it? The first year was it Truex and Jimmy,
yeah.
and then Blaney ends up winning.
Yeah,
Like,
Yay!
Blaney and Boyer were 1-2 at the end of that race. Two renowned road racers.
yeah, two guys are really good at road racing.
Pretty sure
Yeah.
Brad Keselowski was close there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, that was the race where Brad Keselowski couldn't complete a corner, I don't think.
Yeah, I forgot about
That's
that.
when he was wrecking everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, let's answer some questions, shall we?
Of the 6 of you in the live chat, if you got any questions, fire them off.
All right, we will we'll start with the bottom with Mr. Jet Daily, stacking Chevys in the rear. Let's fucking go, Corey.
Yeah, big day for Corey. He got Rick Ware's highest finish at Kansas. He got a 15th.
Yeah.
Someone posted all of their finishes at Kansas. This is only the second top 20 they've ever had there. Justin Haley got it in this race last year. He got like a 18th, I think, or something like that.
Woo!
Every other one is
So
like
Corey.
30th, like 35th,
Was Justin-
30th, 28th.
Was Justin Haley at Rick Ware last year?
I swear to God, it said Justin
That,
Haley.
that was
never,
probably the spring.
maybe it
this
was
year
the
in the
spring.
spring.
No, it was 2 races ago. Maybe I'll never be able to find it again. I don't remember who posted it.
Davo44. Has Spire actually let go their two best drivers in Zane Smith and
Dude.
LaJoy?
I went and looked at Spire's tweets last night, and the replies, which for weeks have been nothing but the Corey slander. The get him the fuck out of here. Worst driver in Cup Series history. Amazing how quick the internet turns.
Yeah.
All of the comments were, you let go the wrong drivers. Well, the people were also roasting them because they were like their end of the race graphic with the positions. They're like, it was going great till it wasn't. Zero mention of Zane Smith getting another top 10. People were like, did you forget about Zane Smith? Oh, that's right. You fired him. Oh, that's right. And you fired Corey, who finished 15th.
Yep.
Like, it was a lot of those comments. It was actually funny as hell.
Nice to see.
Funny as hell.
Welcome back to our team, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Nathan Danforth, who was your favorite guest on Dale Jr. Download?
All time? Oof.
That's a lot.
I love the Kerry Earnhardt.
Kerry
episode.
Earnhardt was, the Kerry Earnhardt one had me speechless a couple times. That one and the Ken Schrader one was unbelievable.
Kenny
Yeah.
was good. The Michael Waltrip ones are always good.
Those were pretty good.
I mean, there's a lot.
There's a
of good
lot.
ones.
I'm
Picking
just
a
thinking
favorite's
of
impossible.
the ones that like made me like that Kerry one was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hearing his story about how
well, they just turn into 16-year-olds again whenever
Yeah.
they're together.
yeah.
So it's super fun and like, it's weird the Earnhardt family. Like, Junior and Kelly are close, but like Kerry and Dale Jr. have never seemed that close. And then
Yeah.
they do this interview and they're like, oh, we lived together for like 8 years and
Yeah.
this and that. And we just acted like brothers, even though we met when we were in our late teens.
The Ty Norris one was really good because that just enlightened a lot of
Yeah, I learned a lot on
learned
that
a lot
one.
on that one.
I like the Chip one.
That was pretty good. The Chip Ganassi one was good. I would like to go on the opposite. My least favorite one, unpopular opinion, was the John Force one. I couldn't fucking
I didn't
listen
even
to
listen
it.
to
I
it.
couldn't listen to it. It was too much. Like, he is so all over the fucking place.
Well, I think they went back to back. They went Clint Boyer and then John Force. And it's like, dude, give us
I
a
made
break.
it like not even halfway through that one, and I was like, dude, I can't listen to this anymore.
I don't think I
can't-
listened to
he
it.
couldn't hold a topic because
You
he
know
was
what I
just bouncing around all over the
don't
place.
enjoy when he gets like the young kids on.
Yeah, I want to hear.
It's like, I'm going to interview Connor Zillich. It's like, okay, like,
it's going to be a sponsor plug the whole time.
yeah,
It's just-
but we're just going to talk about this kid's entire racing career,
I
which,
was-
by the way, is 3 years.
I was actually impressed with how mature that kid is
No,
on that
it was a
episode.
good interview, but it's
I
not
see what you're
interesting.
saying. I think that's a bad example because he was
stories
actually
aren't
really good.
It's just not interesting. Where
Right.
when they get, I love like the last couple weeks ago when they had that string of crew chiefs. I've never heard their names, but the stories they came out with were unreal.
Yeah,
you
for
know
sure.
that's I love when he has guys on
Hank Parker.
the
was
Hank Parker
super
one.
good.
The Hank Parker one when he was talking about the conversations him and Dale had about being a father, and I was like, I'm at work, like, God damn, it's like,
allergy season.
yeah,
Yeah, too many to name.
there is. It's unbelievable.
All right, L98 Jake with a pair. If you could watch any race with anyone, what race and with who?
Oh God, we talking like Back to the Future shit or like?
01 Daytona 500 because Dale accidentally got sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it with Dale.
Yeah,
Hey, you
Butter-
should sit this one out, champ.
Butterfly effect shit.
yeah.
I would say like any Daytona 500 that gets rain delayed until like midnight with Dale Jr.
Oh, yes.
That way we're just in the bag watching the Daytona 500.
I will still never forget the jet dryer year. Ed Cash came down to my house in Boston. We were watching the race. Oh no, that one got rained out. That was a Monday race. So that was he came down. It was NHL trade deadline day. So we were watching all of that shit, and then the race came on. We were heavily
Inebriated.
a lot of waters that day. Mm-hmm. And then we had enough time after, like we kind of stopped because he knew we had to go home. Then the jet dryer thing happened. He got in his car. He made it home before the race restarted. Home to New Hampshire, like 50 minutes away. Made it back to his house before the race even restarted. And I remember sitting on my couch watching it, and I was like, it is like midnight when they,
Yeah.
that one. I mean, those. I like when that weird. That's why I was so mad at the 600 this year. Because I was so excited for them to get that race restarted at like 1 a.m. I was like, hell yeah, like let's go late night. This is gonna be fun.
I was
as hell.
excited for that. I was really
because
disappointed.
I remember watching that race where Dylan ended up in the fence, that Pepsi 400. That was on a Sunday night, and I think I had to pack it in at like midnight because I had to work the next day. I was like, I can't stay up and watch this whole thing, and it went till like 2:30 in the morning. Like
No.
those are
All right,
fun.
I'll throw a weird curveball at you real quick. 2012 Watkins Glen.
That's very weird.
That's Ambrose and
Yep.
Keselowski, right?
Yeah,
2012.
I think so. Something like that.
I want to watch that with SVG.
Ooh,
Oh,
That'd be fun.
That's good. I like
Him
that.
rooting for Ambrose during that would be a freaking
Yeah.
sight.
yeah. I don't know. That's tough though. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many people I'd like to watch anything with.
All right, L98 Jake. My best friend moved back home, so now I have a race buddy. So much more fun.
Oh, I think he name dropped him too. Italian.
Yeah,
Yep.
Italian.
Name I haven't heard in a while.
Sam Valley
Do you still race with
95.
those guys? Do you still race with those guys?
No.
Sam Valley 95 said the CW can F off. I had college football at the same time Xfinity race.
Seriously?
Yeah, they got to start figuring out what the hell's going on there.
Yeah, I'm not happy about this.
I wasn't.
Shout out Joe Sanchez
Stream this week.
for unknown reasons. You know what you did.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't around to watch it, so I didn't know if there was any problems or not. But yeah, this is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Must be obviously it's different the markets. We talked about it. So, yeah, that's not good. They got to figure out a stream real fast if that's the case.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just hardwired cable TVs. Super rare now. So it's if that's what you're relying
So
on.
do you not have a CW channel?
No,
Get an antenna.
I don't know how to do that.
You go to Walmart and you buy a TV antenna and put it in the back of the TV.
All right, I'll look into that.
Yeah,
that
because
should
CW is over the air and New Hampshire has the race.
Yeah, you should have that.
You go to Walmart
Will
and
I
get one for
it in
$20.
HD or will it be ass?
It'll probably be ass. But
It's shockingly not bad. Because when I at the old house, I had the antenna for some other reason. It's like when I made the switch to YouTube and something wasn't on there or whatever. I think it was like the Super Bowl I was trying to get or some. I don't know. Some big event or whatever. I bought one of like the powered antennas from
Yeah, 'cause
Walmart. It was
everything's
like
digital now. so-
$25. It's shockingly not bad. I mean, it's
That's
you're
a
not calling your
complaint
mom about it, but
I've
it's
been
pretty good.
hearing from a lot of people is that it's like 480p.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
like
Mine,
super low.
No,
quality.
if you
Mine's
buy
been
the
fine.
the shitty one that just screws in, like yeah, that's mediocre at best. But the powered ones, not bad. All right, Sam Valley 95. Do you think Kansas is worth going to next fall?
probably.
Yeah,
I was
It
surprised.
Puts on a good show.
I
the
was
state
surprised that.
probably not. The race, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, around that area, it looks like there's a lot of shit to do.
Yeah.
I mean, Kansas City's probably a good time.
It's only like a half hour outside the city,
Yeah.
so I'm sure
I was
it's worth
surprised
exploring.
that place wasn't more packed. It was pretty packed yesterday, but I definitely thought it would be
The
even more
camping
packed.
does not look ideal there.
I was looking at that too.
Like
It
there's a
looks kinda
little bit
weird.
in the infield, but it looks like you're on top
You're
of
on
each other.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then
too.
like outside the track, it looked like there was a couple camp areas, but they're all so spread out.
to be fair, we're on top of each other at Pocono. So
Yeah, but this looked like a parking lot.
You talking about during the race or after?
We weren't going to talk about that.
Sorry, my bad. My
That's
bad.
why you
Sun
broke the
goes
AC.
down.
That's the story we came up with of why the AC was broken, not because we were on the roof in the moonlight.
Turning up the heat
Yeah.
to 80, make
but
it hot,
It
sweaty.
still kills me that I think it was me and Just Bus. One of the nights we were sitting around the fire at Pocono, we realized how loud the music was, and we were like, we should go check and see it. We were pretty drunk. We should go check and see if we could hear this. And we like walked over to where the cornhole boards were, but because of Cohan's truck, we had like that box of
It was perfect.
vehicles. You could barely hear it 15 or 50 feet away. I was like, that's actually not that bad.
Yeah, and we had them dueling, facing each other.
And then they started unsyncing. and
Oh, that drove me insane.
that was great.
Oh, it drove me absolutely insane. All right, Cole C52, y'all coming to the Snowball this year?
Probably not.
No.
When is that?
Like January.
January.
December,
in
something,
Florida, dude.
something like that.
Yeah, probably not.
I want.
I would love to.
It's a bucket list, but I'm probably not going to plan a trip around it.
Yeah, given the events of the rest of this year, probably not. Downriver Diecast with a couple. Does the Boston area have any cool Halloween festivals? Yeah, we have Salem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Salem.
Salem, Massachusetts.
But that's not cool.
It is the home of Halloween,
I would
basically.
never. I would never go there.
I remember at my last job, I was obviously a traveling mechanic, and I had like a couple calls in Salem the week of Halloween. I was like, "Are you sure it's broken? Like, do you need me to
Can this
come
wait
down?"
until next week?
Yeah. Salem, Massachusetts, the home of the infamous witch trials, is
What, half hour outside the city?
insane.
Yeah, it's-
the entire month of
The
October.
Witch Trials is big, but the freaking Hocus Pocus house
True. That's their.
will shut down fucking states.
No, dude, the
amount of traffic
crowds
thing gets.
that go there starting tomorrow. It is October 1st tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's already been happening this weekend.
Oh, it's already started.
What's
It's-
that purple house? It's somebody specific.
I haven't been to Salem since I
Lizzie
was a
Borden?
kid.
No, that's New
No,
Bedford.
that's not Salem. I haven't been there since I was a kid. It's a cool place to go, not in October.
John Proctor.
Yeah.
Is it the Proctor House?
Yes,
Yeah.
Proctor House. If you want to go
I got
there
it.
and like see the history and shit, it is a really cool
Talking to
place.
Scarlet Letter, folks.
The
Same reference.
the museums are
what it's
sick.
from, right?
Like
Yeah.
all the stuff there is sick. Just do not go around Halloween because you will. It is a sea of humanity. Everybody that loves spooky season has to go to Salem, and it makes me want to.
It's awesome
It's
if
super cool.
if
but
you go
it's-
like on a weekday.
Yeah, I see the pictures of the crowds, and I'm just like,
If you go on a weekday at like 1 p.m. and then you're out of there like by dinner time, you'll be all right.
yeah, it's the same as I've been seeing the videos of currently the Big E is happening, which is the giant fair in Massachusetts.
Right.
Oh my god, you couldn't fucking pay me to go to that. It is too goddamn big, too many people. I saw a video of what one of the main drags looked like on like it was like 2 weekends ago. It looked like you could just lift your feet up and just still be flowing with the people. Like there were so many people packed in there. I was like, no, thank you.
Brutal. And last but not least, what sponsor from the past would you like to see back?
We're all thinking it.
Miller Lite.
baby.
Oh, I was gonna say Viagra.
We were not all thinking
Okay, I
that.
guess we weren't all thinking
Good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah, Winston.
Who do we give it to?
The Viagra.
Gotta be Denny, right?
Yeah.
You just got. It's got to be the oldest person. It has to be the oldest person in the field.
So you give Denny Viagra and also like some rubber glove sponsor.
Jesus.
Nailed it. I'm with Winston. Just bring beer and cigarettes back. Life was better when we had beer and cigarettes in NASCAR.
Yeah, we got some beer, but we need I want
No,
the beer
we don't
wars and I want the energy drink
We don't have
wars.
any beer. Oh, we have
soda
Busch.
wars.
We have Busch. That's it.
Yeah,
We have Busch and then like a bunch of seltzers.
Hard alcohols.
Seltzers.
yeah. There's random drinks, but like, bring back Miller High Life. Bring back the Silver Bullet. you know?
Budweiser. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, Budweiser is Busch Light. Same.
still, we have. When was the last time we had a Budweiser car? Harvick's fucking throwback in the
Yeah,
All
last
Star
year.
race.
Yeah, 6 months ago.
But aside from that, when Harvick was in the 4-car,
I mean, I miss like just the hard alcohol. Like, you want to diversify our fan group? Get a fucking Hennessy car out there.
woo!
Hell yeah,
Like
that'd be sick.
Anything is possible with that thing,
Fucking,
dude.
Yeah.
that would be so bad.
But like,
Just a battle of the
like
cognacs.
Hennessy, like Crown Royal, get Jack Daniels back.
Yeah, I
Like,
just-
just that Jack and Coke car that never existed
Yeah.
that needs to happen.
Beer, cigarettes, and alcohol. Those were the glory days.
Well, you can get Jack and Coke in a
wanna
can
go.
now.
I want to be able to go back to the racetrack and have some lady in a Winston T-shirt trying to hand me cigarettes at 9 years old.
I just
Hell
miss
yeah.
sponsor battles. Right now, it's always like one sole market runs it. Like,
Yeah.
bring us back the fast food battles. Like, we
Oh.
had a little bit of McDonald's, Wendy's. Bring back freaking Taco Bell, Long John Silver's car. Bring us back like a Sonic and an In-N-Out car. Like, I want
the
rivalries
battles in anything. We had outside of the beer stuff. Remember when you had like the Coke drivers and the Pepsi drivers?
Yeah,
Like,
the energy drink wars.
the energy drink wars. Then you had what is this? There's a tiny fly flying around my microphone.
Although with Zillich signing and SVG coming full time, we might see a Red
Maybe.
Bull, maybe.
I miss the drama of remember the grip that Powerade Gatorade thing had on us that whole year.
Oh, yeah.
Where
Oh,
drivers were getting
Jimmy.
out of the car and smacking the Powerade bottle off the Victory Lane car, and then NASCAR had to step in with a stupid PVC fence so they'd stop doing. That was like I look back at that and it was so stupid, but it was awesome.
I love that. Yeah. Yep. All of those as options. That's all I got for the Instagram. What do we see in the chat? Should Norm grow a beard? He can't.
Yeah, not much.
This is the best I got.
Brent-
It's like 2 months.
Brent Newton, should Norm grow a beard? Tyler Page said that'd be hot. So take that with what you will. Brent Newton.
I don't want to take that.
Brent Newton said, "Should I shave mine?" Last time I did, Kyle almost died.
Yeah, no.
We're not doing that. And then it
Dan
was
looks
not-
like a big toe if he shaves that off.
Mustache, though.
the mustache was sick, but I'll never do it again. There's a hidden chin under there I didn't know I had, so I'm good. I don't ever want to see that again. I haven't. That was the first time I had no beard since I was 17.
Yep.
I'm good. I don't need to do it ever again.
I liked it.
That's about it. Jared Michaud went to the Big E last week. Wasn't too bad. Yeah, my sister-in-law went on she went last Tuesday, and it wasn't bad. If you go during the week, it's not
I'm
bad.
thinking
If
about
you,
going next Tuesday.
if you go on like a Saturday, or you're an idiot. There's no way. Like that would be. I saw a reel on Instagram. It was a guy with all the times. Every food line was like 50 minutes long just to get food.
That's
ugh.
crazy.
I mean, there's a bunch. There's that typical stuff up here. There's haunted houses, but Salem, Massachusetts is definitely our biggest. hit.
Sorry, Tyler, we missed your question. Oh, how dare we? Will Dan ever love me again? I never did. So good luck, Chief.
The rest of us tolerate you.
I'm only here so I don't get fined.
Love you, buddy. All right, so that does it for the questions. And yet another episode of the Loose is Fast podcast.
Yeah.
Before we end this party, go over to loosesfast.myshopify.com. Get yourself some merch.
Do that.
If you would like to contribute to our sponsorship with Mr. Brad Perez, you can send a PayPal to myself. Reach out to us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We don't have Facebook. Twitter,
Yeah, we don't have one
Instagram,
of those.
Discord, whatever. If you want the PayPal to contribute to that.
Please do that because it's not going well right now. So
Yeah, not a whole lot yet,
We've
but
made
that's okay.
$12.
yeah, we
Help us.
kind of really need some help on this one. You guys have come through in the past, so we're hoping again that happens.
Yeah.
It help. please.
Yeah, hopefully
Yep.
we get a render of the car soon. Maybe that'll spark some interest.
That's what I'm hoping for. Please, can we have some more?
Please help.
Please help me.
Help me not get in trouble with my soon-to-be wife.
Yep, and my wife will be quite angry at me.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I would be mad at myself.
Share the image that Norm will so eloquently create this evening.
I'm just wondering how I can make a race image without putting Ross Chastain on it.
Just put a picture of a watermelon. That's it.
Just like a super zoomed out picture of Kansas. And that's it.
Yep.
Maybe I'll put William Byron on it just to anger
Oh,
average Joe.
Joe will lose his bananas.
Just all the stage winners and the pole winner.
It'll just be a
And then Ross really small in the corner.
It'll just be a picture of Ross with a caption, "How will Hendrick ruin this for me?"
Just make it an all Hendrick cover photo
I'll
with their
do that.
finishing positions.
I'll just do the Photoshop Chase Elliott's head on him again.
It's just
oh God, I forgot you did.
Oh,
that.
you could just do like the standings for the playoffs. That's it.
That'll be good.
There'd be no Ross in it. Joe's not even here. He'd be losing his mind.
I'm making a statement. What's your statement? I'm going to win when it doesn't matter.
Fill out a review, 5 stars on Spotify. Follow us on everything at.
_pod on the Twitter and the Instagram.
I'm Kyle Belcher,
I'm Dan Walker.
Norm Peltier.
and we'll catch you next week.
We still love you, Joe.
Do we?
I do. Jay Shaw.
Oh, we get the big ring flag this week.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Norm.
I didn't want to whip it at your face. I didn't know if there was anything left in it.